live on YouTube here this Friday evening, the night before Road to History. It has been a couple of weeks since we've been here. We're happy to be back. I hope you guys are excited for a show that we've got forward tonight. Looking forward to tonight. And once again, I'm joined by my co-hosts, Lee Simmons and Dow. Dow, how are you doing, boys?
Tell you what, I am pumped. I am ready. I'm excited for what we've got coming up. So yes, the energy is flowing.
Yes, mate, I'm excited for tonight. I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm just excited in general. We've got an exciting few weeks coming up with CPW. It's going to be good, man. I can't wait.
It's going to be off the chart. And Lee's got the special guest of the show, the highlight of the show, right there with you.
Oh, yes. Dylan, he's missed you. He hasn't bothered with me. I think he's been in a mood with me because we haven't been doing the podcast. And as soon as he saw me setting everything up, he's been all well excited. He's going out for a walk or something. He's mad for it.
Hey, straight in there. Look at that.
Proper performer, that is. You know, you are right, guys. So obviously, tonight we have one hell of a guest joining us shortly, and that is Chantal Jordan. We're excited to speak to Chantal Jordan this evening. But before she joins us, obviously, you know, we've got to mention tomorrow night, it's the last stop. It's the last stop before History 8, and that is Road to History. And for those who haven't got tickets yet, there are still some tickets available. So make sure if you haven't got tickets, you get those tickets ASAP, because it is a show you do not want to miss. And we will be going through the matches that will be happening on that show very shortly and discussing those matches. But the same July the 10th is only around the corner, and that's History 8, biggest show of the year, and I'm excited for it. I know everyone else is excited for it, and tickets are still available for that as well. So make sure you get the tickets for Road to History and History 8 if you haven't already, because there are some big matches already announced for History 8. We have the returning Steve Valentino going one-on-one with the chosen one, Will Starr. Now, I'm excited for that match. There's a rivalry there, and there's a bit of hatred there. And, you know, and they want to prove who's the better guy. And, I mean, you two, are we excited to see that?
Oh, mate, that's the reason we've seen a whole different Will Starr over the past, couple of months. And, you know, Will's become more aggressive. He's become more vicious. I mean, I wouldn't say more focused, because he's always been focused, but he's been, you know, just focus on that one thing, and all he wants is Steve Valentino. That's all he wants right now, and that's what he's getting at History 8. And I can't wait to see that, mate. It's going to be epic.
I mean, to be fair, it began a little bit early, but really got kicked off when we had them on our show.
That is correct.
That's when it really kicked off, and it really went. And after that, when we had Will on, I mean, that I've never seen anything quite like that. When Will was on our show, wow, that is when he definitely did turn.
And just imagine what's going to happen when they get their hands on each other. It's going to be electric, that's for sure. Yeah. And like I said, you don't want to miss that match, and you don't want to miss the show, so get your tickets. Before we carry on, has anyone noticed that Dale's wearing a blazer?
You wearing a blazer, Dale?
Dale's got a blazer on. Dale's wearing a blazer. Look at the man wearing a blazer.
A blazer? It's a hoodie. What's wrong with you?
Oh, is it? I thought it was a blazer. I literally thought you were wearing a suit jacket.
What's wrong with you? Blazer.
Oh. You're going all Dominic De Winter on us there, Dale.
What do you got, go to school or something? Blazer.
Talking about History 8 matches that have already been announced. Obviously, we do have people joining us already on YouTube. Dale and Jim joining us on YouTube at the moment. And this one is for Jim. This is one for Jim. I know Comedy Pro Wrestling already mentioned it, but we will have the CPW Women's Champion Shorty defending that title at History 8 against the one and only Kat Von Cage. And what a match that's going to be.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Kat, the last show, you know, she, the Night of the Lioness 2, you know, she came out and she basically said that, you know, me acting all friendly with Shorty was, well, it was all bollocks. It was all just so I could get closer to that gold. Mm-hmm. And that's what she's done now. She's got that match of History, and I'm sure Shorty's going to want a little bit of payback for what happened there. So yeah, it's going to be great. I can't wait to see what happens when they get their hands on each other.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you, Lee. I mean, it's going to be epic, to be honest. It's going to be off the chart. I mean, them two, like you say, after what Kat did at Night at the Lioness 2, you're just Shorty is going to be absolutely fuming.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely fuming. So yeah,
time for payback.
That's going to go off big time.
Yeah, and I'm excited again to see that match. The women's division right now is absolutely on fire, and once again, we're going to get to see two of the best women in our division go at it, fist flying, and I'm excited for it. Talking about fists flying, we have to talk about this match, because this match is probably going to be one of the matches that I think is a match that has a lot riding on it, because it's winner takes all. Is Niall Fairchild, the New Blood Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, going one-on-one with the Next Gen Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Jimmy Vice, representing the Winter Dynasty? The Dynasty have been out for blood, of Niall's blood, and they called the match. They said winner takes all at History 8. Niall responded with an answer and said, we know he's a fine champion. He said, I'm down. Let's go. You want to bring it? I'll bring it. And what the match that's going to be. And like I say, that's going to change the landscape of CPW, because you're going to have one person holding both titles for both brands here at CPW.
Yeah, it's Niall's never going to back down from a challenge. Doesn't matter who's issuing that. That's what you've got to love about Niall. Like you said, he's a fighting champion. But you're right, mate. Either way, no matter who wins that match, as a unification of those two belts, it's sorry, my dog's just here making loads of noise. Shush. But yeah, it's you say, it's going to completely change the landscape, and either way, it's going to make people. It's going to make everybody more hungry in CPW, because there's just one less belt to go for. There's one less championship, so we're going to be aiming for just for one less. And both of these guys want to go down in history. They go down in history as the first person to be, to hold that unified belt. So yeah, it's going to be great to see. I just hope the Dynasty don't have too much to say about it.
That's the question there.
We all know whatever the Dynasty are about, there's always going to be trouble. They're always going to get involved. They don't, fairly. They don't have any of that. So Dominic DeWinty is going to have his plans in place for that match. That's going to happen.
Oh, of course he is. And then we've got to move on to you, Lee, in a big match at History 8. Time after time being referred to as a B-class player. Now, I don't agree with that. I never have done. I never will do. But you get to finally get your hands and prove yourself, even though I don't think you need to, but prove yourself to this gentleman when you go up against the CPW Heavyweight Champion, Alex Connors. How are you preparing for that match, and are you ready to go out there and teach that weasel a lesson?
Oh, mate, I'm looking for a new job as a weasel exterminator. But, I'm not taking it lightly. It's the biggest match in my career. It's the biggest opportunity I've ever had. And, I'm not taking anything away from Alex Connors. The man's done a lot. And he's a hell of a champion. Love him or hate him. Most people hate him. But, I think a lot of his hatred for me stems from, maybe it's a bit of jealousy, because he knows how much the Galaxy love me. And I love them. It's a two-way street, and I can't wait. If I'm going to do everything I can. He's going to have to kill me to pin me that night. He's going to have to kill me, because I will do anything to become the heavyweight champion. I will do absolutely anything I can. And the feeling of holding that championship high while I'm looking out at the CPW Galaxy, there's going to be nothing else like it. And if it happens, I'm never going to forget that moment for the rest of my life. And so, Alex Connors, mate, if you're watching, you better recognise this ain't going to be a B+ player coming for this. I'm coming for this like a pit bull. I want that title and I want to shut you up.
Talking about, I mean, I you know what? I hope you go out there and teach him a lesson, Lee, because, you know, that's going to make me happy, probably make Dow happy, and make a lot of the CPW Galaxy happy. And, you know, we wish you the best of luck, obviously, tomorrow and the July the 10th.
I mean, like I say, I agree with you, Nathan. After what Alex Connors made me do, when he made me get into that cage with Morris, I hope, Lee, you get your boot and stick it, ram it right down that man's throat.
That's right, mate.
I want you to make sure you're coming out of history.
Yeah.
With that bout.
And
get rid of that weasel. Weasel exterminated.
That's it,
what
mate.
we need to see. And talking about someone else who needs to be put in their place, I've got to refer to this last match that's been announced so far for History 8. And that's the person that's now referring to himself as the Icon Destroyer, Morris. You know, doing what he wants, when he wants, saying what he wants, behaving how he likes, taking out anyone in his path, and then now refer to himself as the Icon Destroyer, taking out 2 icons so far, but he has one hell of an icon facing him at History 8, and that's the Hall of Famer, the longest tag team champ, one half of the longest tag team champions of all time, a guy that we know who knows how to have a fight and get his hands dirty, and that's Dan Evans. And I must admit, that match could be match of the night.
I mean, can't argue with you there. I mean, both of these guys are amazing. Whenever either of them get into the ring, it is magical. Nobody likes Morris's recent, personality change, but he's done a lot of what he said he's going to do. So you can't knock him for that. But he has said he is going to destroy Dan Evans, and that's going to be a very tall order, mate. Because, like you said, Dan Evans is a bad man. He's a complete bad man. Some of the best matches I've ever seen have been involving Dan Evans. Some of the wars that Dan Evans and Mr. Richards had back in the day, man, I'll never forget those. And I can't wait to see this. I'm hoping Morris gets put in his place, but either way, I know it's just going to be a great match and something that you don't want to miss.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like you say, Morris. I mean, like I say, I did have my short time in the ring with Morris, and what I did experience, it hurt, to be honest. Morris is a bad man, and he knows how to hurt you. So, yeah. But when you come to Dan Evans, what can you say about Dan Evans? Like we said, 2-time Hall of Famer, longest rated, one half of the longest reigning tag champions.
Yeah, exactly.
What else can you say about this man?
Nothing much. You can't say much.
Man is an absolute legend.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Absolute wrestling machine.
Completely agree now.
Like I said to them, I can't argue with it. It could steal the show. It really could.
But if Morris does start off his Icon Destroyer path by destroying the icon that is Dan Evans, then where else can he go from that? I mean, he's going to be headbutting Hulk Hogan or something. You know what I mean? How much higher could you go than Dan Evans? It'll be a massive feather in his cap if he does manage to beat Dan Evans.
Hey, like I say, the only way to find out, ladies and gentlemen, is getting tickets for History 8 and not missing those matches. Talking about missing out on matches, as always, we like to give you a free match after this show, and we've got one hell of a match coming from the New Blood episode 18. It is Taco versus Bashby, who's recently made his return to CPW. So that is the match that will be shown after we go off air around about 10 o'clock this evening. However, like I said, History 8, July the 10th, these matches are all lined up to be epic, and there's some more to come. So do not miss out on getting your tickets for History 8. But now, ladies and gentlemen, is my time to introduce our guest this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talking Madness, Chantal Jordan.
Hey.
Hey!
Here she is.
You're right.
Yes, she is.
How are we doing, Chantal?
I'm good, thank you. How are you all doing?
Very good. Very good.
on this Friday evening, the night before Road to History.
Fantastic. Excited.
Was it?
So yeah, so looking forward to it. Got the energy flowing. So yeah, really, really good.
Good.
So obviously we're doing this special tonight. We are leading up before Road to History, which is tomorrow, and I know that you have a big match tomorrow night at Road to History. And we're going to obviously discuss that match with you, and then we want to discuss your wrestling career so far, because for those who haven't followed your wrestling career or don't know much about you, you've had some epic moments already in this short time in your wrestling career, and have done quite a lot so far. And and I bet you've got some stories to tell. But before we do that, we're going to do what we did last time. We had this Talking Madness special episode, and that's to go through tomorrow night's show and the card. We're going to get predictions of everyone watching tonight and the guest and the host tonight. So we're just talking about Dan Evans and Morris there at History 8. So we're going to start off with the match that involves them two tomorrow, which will be the Vicious Villains, which is Team 666 and Morris versus the Tag Team Champions, Team CCC and Lucha Dan. I mean, I'm excited to see Lucha Dan. Who knows what Lucha Dan's going to bring out? But Chantal, Jordan, what are your predictions on that match, knowing the competitors in that match?
I think pretty good, to be fair, and I think Lucha Dan. I can't wait to see that, to be honest. I'm expecting him to pull out some mad high flying stuff. I want to see it all. I do think it's gonna be very good.
Okay, so there we go then. And down Lee, quickly, who do you think you're going to have the win in that match? The Vicious Villains?
I've got to back Lucha Dan. I've got to back Lucha Dan. CCC, definitely.
Dale?
I can't really argue with it. I've got to back Lucha Dan, CCC. I'm like Chantal. I am so looking forward to seeing Lucha Dan, because it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in that ring.
So that match looks like a clean sweep towards Lucha Dan and Team CCC.
I think so.
We'll talk about another match here that's going to be in the women's division. And obviously, we can get your views on this match, especially Chantal being part of that division here at CPW. And that's the champion versus champion match. We've got the CPW lineal women's champion, Hardy Harris, going one-on-one with the CPW women's champion, Shorty. What do you make of these two women, and who do you think will come out on top of that champion versus champion match?
I think, to be honest, obviously Shorty beat me. It was in January, obviously, for the title, and I think the way she's been defending the title at the minute, she's doing the whole of CPW Galaxy proud. She's representing the women's division really well at the moment. So I think Shorty going to that match, she's definitely going to smash it. And obviously Holly Harris as well has just won the title. So I think it's definitely going to be a good bout, and I just can't wait to see that on top. But I'm going for Shorty in this. I'm rooting for Shorty.
One by Shorty. Lee, Dow, what is your predictions quickly?
I'm gonna back Shorty. I'm gonna back my home girl, Shorty. Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm not gonna do what I did last time, because I was wrong quite severely, and I'm hoping we're gonna have the champion sorted online, because I've said that I'll eat my words, and I have got them written down, and I will eat them. So I hope you'll be on at some point, so I can eat my words. So I am definitely going to be going for Shorty on this one.
So it looks like another clean...
What I would say is this. Harley Harris, like Chantal said, new champion, and also the coalition. Let's not forget about that.
And we have to also mention that, like you say, Harley Harris has just won a title. But not only is that, Chantal, you'll know this, whoever wins between you and Mia Cortez will be the number one contender to go on and face Hardy Harris. And, that's a massive opportunity for yourself to obviously once again you know, have an opportunity at a title shot and championship in CPW. But, you know, I take it you're going to have your eyes on that match, knowing that if you win your match tomorrow night at Road to History, you can be facing Harley Harris. And she has shown a very vicious and aggressive side since returning back to CPW and joining the Weasel group, the coalition, where that means that she has that backup as well. If you were to win and go against Harley Harris, you know, what would that be for you, and how would you see that going?
I think, to be honest, if I was to win and go against Harley Harris, like, I just put everything into that match, determined to win the title, just get another title, W. Like, I think it'd just be alright. Yeah, I'd give her a beard.
Well, I mean, on this show, we always get exclusives or we hear some rumors, and I've heard a rumor about the match with Harley Harris at History 8, that match could be, whoever wins out of you and me at that match at History 8 versus Harley Harris could be a ladder match.
Oh.
How that ring the bells now, knowing that you could be in a ladder match.
I mean,
the rumor's true.
I'll win. I'll be buzzing. Just walk around the end of the ladder instead.
It's around the end of the ladder. I mean, that's one way to get the job done, isn't it? Just
definitely.
Push. Do I need to climb it? Nah, I'm just gonna knock her out with the ladder first.
Well,
I mean, that's sensible, isn't it? Just twat them in the head with the ladder, then climb it. You know what I mean? That's fair enough.
Easy win. That's it.
I'll tell you what, that's something. If that happens, man, I can't wait to see that. That'll be awesome.
Wow, another one that could smash it out the park. That match, you know, we've had one ladder match CPW, but it should be the first female in a ladder match in CPW. So that will be magnificent as well.
But, you know, to be fair, like, Harley's been savage lately. I mean, she had that no holds barred match, and she's savage. I mean, I wouldn't put it past her. She'd be thinking exactly the same thing. She's going to be thinking, I'm going to tonk you in the chin with a ladder, and then I'm going to climb it. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're going up there against, you know, a Tinkerbell affair. You know, this is Harley Harris, and she is mean.
Definitely.
No, and like I say, she's shown that vicious side of her, and as soon as you put a kind of any kind of weapons or object in front of Harley, she's not afraid to use it. But by the sounds of it, you, Chantal, aren't afraid to get your hands dirty either and get a little bit violent. So, you know, that could kick off. But, you know, first we've got to wait to find out what happens this Sunday. Sunday? It's Saturday. Don't know why it's Sunday.
I don't know what you're finding out on Sunday. We're talking about tomorrow, mate.
Oh, no, mate. You know, find out this Saturday who will be that person that goes to face Harley Harris at History 8. Is it going to be Mia Cortez, or would it be Chantal Jordan, who is our guest this evening? Talking about some other matches, we have to mention yourself, Lee. You get an opportunity already to have some payback towards Alex Connors when you go into a tag match, teaming up with a young lad from the academy, Rubens, but you're going against the male and academy champion, Charlie, and the leader of the coalition, Alex Connors. Obviously, Rubens, we know recently had that opportunity where he was cheated out of it by disgusting behaviours again by the coalition. And obviously, you've had your fair share of what Alex has to say about you. So I'm taking it you two are looking to get some payback, some revenge, and also maybe a bit of a one up on them leading up into history against Alex Connors.
Well, I mean, look, he's been taking me like far too lightly. He underestimates me, and I want to give him something to think about before history, because I want to show him tomorrow night. And like the past few weeks, like you said, he's tried to mug young Rubens off, man. Rubens is a good young lad. He works hard, And, you know, he got in there with the heavyweight champ, yeah, with now the longest reigning heavyweight champ in CPW. And fair play to him, you can't take that away from him. But Rubens, he didn't back down. And, you know, he hurt Alex Connors in a couple of those matches, yeah. He not enough come out on top, but he has nothing to be ashamed of. And I can't wait to tag with him tomorrow and show the Golden Coalition, as they like to call themselves, or the Weasel Coalition. I'm going to show them that I'm no B+ player, and Rubens ain't someone you can take lightly either.
No. Rubens deserved that title. Unfortunately, like I say, he was cheated out of it. And I hope he gets to get his hands on little Charlie and get some form of payback this Saturday. And hopefully you get to prove a point and put some fear into Alex Connors leading up to History 8. Talk about champions. I did forget to mention a minute ago when we were talking about the women's champions, Shorty and Hardy Harris. We are joined online by another one of the women's champion, the recently crowned Young Lioness, CPW Young Lioness champion, Carrie, is online.
Hello,
Carrie. Carrie, who has a massive future here in CPW, that is for sure. Talking about futures, this match has recently happened on, I believe it was Next Gen Wrestling episode, and they're going to go at it again tomorrow night, Road to History. But, you know, this guy has his eyes focused solely on History 8 and getting his hands on Steve Valentino, as we mentioned earlier. But that is tomorrow night. We will see Drake Winter once again going one-on-one with the chosen one, Will Starr. You know, Will Starr is focused on Steve Valentino. You know, he ain't got any care for anything else at the moment apart from getting to History and getting his hands on Steve Valentino and proving a point to Steve Valentino and shutting him up. I just feel bad for Drake because he's now in the way tomorrow night and just going to get, you know, we're going to get a tease of what's going to happen to Steve Valentino, but it's just going to be taken out on Drake Winter, in my opinion.
Yeah, but, I mean, Drake's another person who shouldn't be taken too lightly. Like Will Starr, I mean, we all know how good Will Starr is, you know, but he shouldn't. He's obviously he wants to get at Steve Valentino. We all know that, but tomorrow night he's got somebody who, if he doesn't pay attention and if he hasn't got him fully in his sights, could get the win.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've got to ask you this question, Chantal. Obviously, who do you think is going to win first of all out of Drake Winter and Will Starr? But someone you know very well is Steve Valentino, and obviously you've got to see a lot over the last couple of years of Will Starr. I mean, that match at History is one hell of a match. You know, two guys are absolute awesome wrestlers and know their craft very well. What do you think of who's going to win tomorrow night out of those two, first of all? But also, what's your views on that match at History 8 between Will Starr and Steve Valentino?
So, I personally think that Will Starr is going to win tomorrow night because he's just going to, I think he's going to lay his heart and soul into that match tomorrow. And just, I think Drake Winter needs to be, very scared. And then, obviously, the match at History, I can't imagine, how that's going to be. I think it's definitely going to be match of the night. It'll definitely be, a show stealer. I'm going to try and watch it. It's, amazing.
Because obviously there's this it all came from obviously what happened here on Talking Madness, but it's a big, you know, professional rivalry really, because they've both beat each other, but they've both beat each other at, you know, Will Starr beat him at outside of CPW, and then Steve Valentino beat Will inside CPW. You know, so sort of both embarrassing each other on their home turfs. And, you know, it's all come down to this match now, right, let's go at it. And like you say, Steve Valentino, he is one hell of a performer, one hell of a wrestler, just like Will Starr is one hell of a wrestler. And like you say, you could be right there. It could be the match of the night easily and still the show, especially with the tension behind them two. And I think everyone's going to be wanting to watch it, that's for sure. You're not the only one, Chantal. road to history, though. Tomorrow night, we've only got a couple more matches left. We're obviously going to finish talking about the match that involves our guests. But before we do...
Are you going to let me and Lee talk about the World Star match, no?
No, mate. No, mate. No.
Oh, okay, all right.
Sorry. Yeah, go on. Forgot.
Sorry, Lee, go on, mate.
Well, as much as I said he does need to keep his eye on Drake, I'm always going to back my sensei. I'm backing Will Starr, no question.
Well, all I would say, I actually agree with you. I think Will is on another level at the moment when it comes to Drake. But all I would say is this. Will's got to remember, if he does overstep the mark like he did when he first faced Drake just recently, and he got disqualified and Drake picked up the victory, whether disqualification or not. So Will has got to remember that he's still got to make sure he plays by the rules. But I think he will, and I think he will come out on top.
Coming from the ref.
I mean, talking about breaking the rules, that leads perfectly onto the next match then, because it's the De Winter Dynasty who don't know how to follow the rules a single bit. And also we have the team of the De Winter Dynasty, James Cross and Jimmy Vice versus and Emma Cross, the Galaxy champion, all
Galaxy champion and next gen
heavyweight champion. That is correct. Versus Niall Fairchild, the New Blood Wrestling heavyweight champion, former CPW lineal women's champion Kiara, teaming up with them, and making his return to CPW, man like Doris is in the house again, making his return. You know, another match that is on paper fire, because there is a lot of tension between these guys and girls. You know, Emma Cross and Kiara have had their fair share of interactions. And then obviously, we know at History 8 it's going to be Jimmy Vice versus Niall, winner takes all. And I think the Winter Dynasty don't know what they're in for, because, you know, we haven't seen Doris for a while. None of them really have ever been in the ring with Doris and know what he's about. And I think Doris is the game changer in that situation, because he comes in as like the unknown to them three, and you know, I think he could, you know, make a little bit of a difference then with the Winter Dynasty not really knowing too much about Doris since he's been away for so long. But Chantal, first, let's get your opinions on that match, and also your views on the Galaxy champion Emma Cross and Kiara, the former WWE Lineal Women's Champion.
Obviously, I think that match is going to be another good one again, and could potentially again steal the show. Obviously, I like Doris returning, and I am buzzing, like, obviously, to see him back to the ring now. And obviously, I know he's been training hard and all that. I think, to be honest, I think with man like Doris on their team, I think they're definitely going to get the win. And about, obviously, Kiara and Emma Cross, I feel like them two, I think they're just going to go at it, and, like, it's going to be great. Looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it.
And Dal Lee, what about your opinion about what do you think your prediction is going to be?
I mean, but obviously it's going to be amazing to see Doris back in the side CPW ring. I remember him from before, and he was just an absolutely brilliant performer. Like, there's just some magic in that ring. So yeah, I can't wait to see him back, teaming up with obviously the man mountain that is Niall and Kiara. But I mean, the problem always is, you know, when you're going against the Dynasty, you've got De Winter. And, you know, what's he going to pull? What's he got up his sleeve? What's he got, you know, planned? And, you know, if he's got something dastardly planned, then, you know, as much as I don't like it, if I was putting a bet on it, I'd probably say the Dynasty.
Wow,
Okay.
that's a bit of a curveball there, Lee, to be honest. I understand what you're saying, though. But that match could be, it could be a match that could go all over the shop. There's so much in that, and I think Doris could be, like I said, could be the unknown, like Nathan's already said, the one that they're not familiar with. He has got high flying moves. So he's got high flying moves. The stuff that he's done in the ring before is amazing.
He's a joy to watch. He's a complete joy to watch. He's just one of those guys. When he's in a match, you're just like, yeah, that's everything he does. He just looks beautiful in there.
Yeah, it's just so much energy. And again, I think I have to disagree with you, Lee. I think Doris will be that spark that team needs, and I think that team will come out on top. Now, Chantal, I mean, obviously, you see, when you said Doris, I mean, obviously, you probably know a little more about it than maybe what we do as well. So, what do you think Doris brings to that match? What is he bringing into that match? What do you think?
I think, to be honest, he's just got everything. Like, he's got the charisma. He's got yeah, he just brings everything into that match. Like, what he brings in could just win the match. Like, yeah.
You do train with him, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's how you really get to know people. It ain't just by doing the shows and stuff. It's when you train with people, and because that's where people they allow themselves to make mistakes and stuff like that. So you get close to people, and so you obviously got quite close to him. So you see, he's going to obviously bring something special to this match. Like, what do you think? Like, he's going to do? How do you see it going?
I think he's going to go in there and just show off like all his talent, all his new moves. And yeah, I don't know. I think he's just going to shock everyone. He's going to come back with a bang.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I think he could be the X factor to that match, and yeah. I think he could be the reason that Nia and Kiara's team will come out on top.
Definitely.
I say it's going to be, again, a match you don't want to miss. If you haven't got tickets already, get your tickets, because, like I say, we have lots of great matches on there, but also, like you just said here, we have got the return of a man like Doris, which is going to be exciting to just be in that presence and see that return. Talk about returns, though, moves us on to the final match that's to be talked about on Road to History, which is your match, Chantal Jordan, where you're going one-on-one with Mia Cortez, making her return to CPW. Now, Mia Cortez, someone that you've actually faced before, that you know very well. What are you looking forward to about that match? And obviously, the big thing about that match is also the outcome. Whoever wins that match is going to be number one contender to go face Hardy Harris at History 8, which has been rumoured could be a ladder match. So talk about how you're feeling about that match tomorrow night, and obviously knowing that you're going against someone like Mia Cortez, but also someone making their return as well to CPW.
I'm really looking forward to the match. There was a little bit of me kind of nervous because obviously we haven't stepped in the ring together for nearly over a year ago now, lockdown and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's going to be great to obviously step back in the ring with her, and she's making a return back as well. So obviously it'll be interesting to see how the fans react to her coming back. But I'm just coming in there to win the match, even though we've got a good friendship. I'm all about winning sometimes, and I want to face Harley Harris at History and win that title.
But it's not going to be an easy match for you. Right? I know we all know how amazing you are, but Mia Cortez, I remember when she was in CPW before, and I was just amazed by watching her matches. She's a very dangerous woman. You got any special game plan or anything for it, or you're just going to go in there and try and kick her head off and hope she doesn't do that to you?
I think because obviously Mia has been around the business for a long time now, and I think she just has everything. So it is going to be hard to and it is going to be hard to when it's not going to be easy. But I'm going to do everything in my power, just outsmart her in some way. And if I end up hitting her with a kick around the head, then so be it.
Chantal's going to do whatever it takes to come out on top. But like Lee said, Mia is she brings unique qualities to the ring. The match that she's had in CPW before. So I think she's a genuine threat. So it could be a really tough one for you. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do think it's gonna be pretty tough.
I've got a question here, Chantal, from CBW. Says, what does Chantal think are Mia's strengths that will cause you problems?
Oh, that's a hard question, Sure, I think the main things that will cause problems is obviously knows a lot more than me, and I feel like there'll be some areas where they outsmart me, and she may just catch me off guard. I think that'll be the main problem for me, is just trying to avoid that situation.
So you think in her having that slight bit more experience than you is going to be the factor that could come into play in places where, as the match maybe drags on or goes on during the time, her experience could overcome certain things and cause you have to change your game plan.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, I'm going for, obviously, I think it would be stupid to say we're all picking Mia to win when you're our guest tonight. But, I would say that, obviously, I think I'll be backing you on this one. I know I've known you. I know you longer, and I know you more personally in my wrestling career. And I think who I'd like to go see at History 8 to have a chance to win gold would be you. So I'm putting my money on you, Chantal. So good luck tomorrow, we must say, and do what you do best, and that's kick people's heads off, I guess. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, Road to History tomorrow night is one hell of a packed card, one hell of a packed show. There are tickets still available, so do not miss out an opportunity to seeing that show live, and you will get to witness Chantal Jordan kicking someone's head off. That is guaranteed, and
absolutely certain.
Tonight's prediction has actually been pretty much a clean sweep, apart from the six-person tag match where Lee, for some reason, has gone with doing a dynasty. But hey, I don't know if that's because of family connections.
Maybe he'd have to eat his words on the next show.
It's not. It's only because I know how much of a snake Dominic De Winter is, and he'll do anything he can to win. And so, if I was putting money on it, I'd have to pick that safe bet, knowing that he will do anything it takes to win.
Well, that is true. I can't argue that point, but
I can't argue that.
But like I said, I just think that I think the Darish factor will be the thing that changes that match. To be honest, now. So yeah, that's my view. So
take my bet then, Dale. Take my bet. Come on, me and you. We'll have a little side bet going on.
I have no problem with that, my friend. No problem with that whatsoever.
So we've got a few questions here on YouTube quickly that I'm going to ask you, Chantal, before pass over to Dan. We start talking about your wrestling career up to date. I mean, all the questions are from the same person, so they're all from Aaron Davis, our fellow.
Hello, mate.
Hello, mate.
Our fellow brother. So I'm just going to go through his questions. Chantal, he asks, what makes CPW fans the best fans around?
Oh, to be honest, I think it's just like how much and like how loud they are, and they're willing to like support you and keep you going throughout the match. I think that just like motivates everyone to like keep pushing through. Like, yeah, that is amazing. Why they're one of the best like fans, to be honest. But it's very motivating and like supportive.
No, yeah, I think you're right there. They do get behind you as soon as once they've taken to you or they're hating you. They'll let you know. They'll let you know if they like you or hate you, and the noise that comes from him is unbelievable. And I think you hit it on the nail there once again, and the reasons why. He asked the question: who's your favourite head to kick off?
Oh, Who's my favourite head to kick off?
Probably your little brothers or something. I'm joking.
Fair enough.
That's a hard question, you know. I mean, I like kicking everyone's heads off, but yeah, I'll probably say my little brothers, to be honest.
Or Brandon.
Like, I just enjoy kicking them, you know. Just like, yeah, I'll go with Brandon. Yeah.
There we have it. Two more questions from him. Who would you like to face in the CPW Lioness division?
Oh.
Either someone you've not faced before, or someone that you faced before but maybe want to face again.
I'd love to wrestle Shorty again. Definitely. Like, that girl, she's getting like better each time she wrestles. And if we was to wrestle again, I think it'd just be better than last time. And we just go like head to head. Just kill each other. Yeah, I'm like proud of her, and she's smashing it. I'd love to wrestle her again.
Talking about Shorty, she has just joined us live on YouTube. Shorty, hello, champ. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're just asking Chantal there who she would love to face in the CBW Women's Division and the Lioness Division that she's either faced before or never faced, and her choice was you because of the reasons that she said there, and as well as the fact that I guess, like you say, you want to get that win that she took off you, which is always what you want.
All win over me.
Everyone always has that person they've wrestled and he's got that win over him. You're like, I just need to get that win back one day, no matter what. I get that win back,
even if it's a year later, even if it's 2 years later.
It doesn't matter how long it's been. If it burns in you, it burns in you, and you might not see them for 5 years, and you're like, you motherfucker, let's have it. Come on.
Let's wrap.
Coventry Pro Wrestling's over right there. High praises from Chantal there towards Shorty. Why Shorty's here and Tor joined us before she may leave us, we don't know. Dale, you did it. You said it. You got to eat your words.
I did.
Live here on Talking Madness. So then, gentlemen, Dale Richardson is now going to eat his words. I mean, legit. He's going to eat his paper.
If you can see this, guys, I literally have written down here, Nadia will beat Shorty. I literally have it written down here on a piece of paper.
He's going to eat that piece of paper.
Honestly, if you can see it, I have got it written down.
Right, Dale, take it away.
So,
eat a bit of paper. That's what you got to do.
I eat in my words.
Yes, Dale. Wait, you got to eat it. Oh, he didn't even eat it.
He didn't even eat it.
You didn't swallow it, Dale.
That is me. Now I have eaten my words. Never bet against Shorty. Never.
Well, we've learned the lesson there. Dale has learned his lesson that he didn't want to do it. The final question from Aaron Chantal is: do you have any pre-match rituals or things you do before you head to the ring?
I think I've been asked this before by someone. But said to me, I was like, I don't really, to be honest, I don't really have any pre-match rituals. Maybe I don't even know, spray myself.
Is there anything do you have a set routine? Because it wasn't until I started asking this question I started thinking about it, and I was like, there's certain things I do in certain orders and stuff. Is there anything like that you do where you do certain things in certain orders?
I always put my wrist tape on my left arm first. I'll never put it on my right, never. I always want to put it on my left first. It's weird. Yeah, that's one of the stuff I do. And then I think that's about it, to be honest. And then just spray my order.
Tomorrow you're going to actually getting ready backstage and be like, I do this, I do that. Oh, I do this, I do that.
I'm like, why didn't I say that for?
Before I pass over to Dal, we've had a question come in from Commentary Wrestling. Is Alfie someone's head that Chantal wants to kick off?
Yeah.
short but sweet there.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah.
All right, Dal, over to you. Take it away, maestro.
Yeah, thanks for that, Nate, mate. Well, like I said, Chantal, we're going to talk about your wrestling career. We will talk about your CPW stuff as well. But obviously, we want to talk about you and why you decided you wanted to be in pro wrestling. So, how did it begin, Chantal Jordan? How did you I mean, where did it all begin, Chantal Jordan?
It all began like, it was a long time ago. So my dad would come over to the house, bring like the old little tapes. I think they're VHS tapes. I don't even know what they are. But
she's that young. Oh my God! How old do you think that makes me feel? I think there were VHS tapes, but
VHS.
God.
And like he brought them over, and they're obviously wrestling ones. We were just watching it, and I thought nothing of it. I was like, yeah, there's just wrestling on TV. Like, what even is this? Then it wasn't until I thought Mankind versus Undertaker, and and he got through off the cell.
Yes.
And I was like, bro. I was like, that was so cool.
Yeah.
It's weird, like how like that was the first match that like kind of like made me like, I like wrestling now, So my mom took me to my first ever like wrestling show, which was like in Preston. And just from then, I was like, I want to be a professional wrestler because it was just so up close and everything. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, I want to do this because obviously I was already training in kickboxing at the time. And yeah, I just thought, this is what I want to do. And then yeah, when I started training, it kind of sunk in that like I've found like what I've been looking to do my whole life. Like it's right in front of me. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep pursuing it because it's just my passion.
So how old were you when you first went to training? I know I've seen on social media when you posted certain things like you being backstage at shows and from quite a young age, really. So how old were you when you first really got into training or started being around like wrestling and live shows?
So I first started training when I just turned 11. That was when I first started off, obviously with Kamikaze Pro in Birmingham. And then I think I was about 8 or 9 when I went to my first ever show. But then I started helping out at shows like when I started training. So it was like around 10, turning 11. That's when I probably got involved.
And you started, like I say, you your home is Kamikaze, trained there from day one and everything like that. Obviously, starting off at such a young age, what was your sort of reactions to sort of learning the wrestling things, and also when it came to sort of learning the moves and the bumps and stuff, like how was that to you at such a young age, and how did you take it?
So obviously when we first started bumping and all, it was kind of weird to like adjust to it because obviously I'd come back from like a martial arts background. So it was kind of like I was so used to like just like doing all standing stuff. I wasn't used to like bumping on like little thin like mats, and it was just it hurt to begin with, but then I started getting used to it and I was like, I actually really like this, like it's pain but it's good pain. And like that was just like my reaction to it, to be honest. Like I just enjoyed it, and then I just kept going back because I just loved it.
It is a good feeling, though. It is. It's a great feeling, though. Today I was at work and we had training last night. Every time I'm going to grab something, I'm like, but I'm like, I'm feeling that pain because of something I love. You know what I mean? It's a good feeling.
It's just like you just bring wrestling to like your normal life.
So how old was you Oh, sorry, go on, Dal.
So I feel like I asked the same question that I think they should go. So how old was you when you first got your first opportunity to be on a show and being involved in a match?
I was 14 years old when I made my debut. Yeah, 14. Like,
Wow.
it was actually like a major rush for my debut, you know, because my gear turned up 2 days before the actual match. It was kind of stressed because I didn't get told like until the week that I'd be wrestling. I was like, oh god, like, but yeah, I was 14 years old. Yeah.
And how was that experience? And how was that first match?
Do
you remember it? Who it was? Who you against?
Against Dave Scott Preston. Yeah. But
I think I'm the only one who knows who he is.
Yeah. But so like I was just backstage. I was so nervous. Like, but at the same time I was proper excited. And when I was just in there, just in the moment, it was like, honestly, it's like the happiest moment I've ever had in my whole entire life. Like making my debut would always be like so special to me. And then I just remember going backstage and I started crying, and like the promoter was crying as well. And I was like, I've done it. I've made my debut. And yeah, I can't be like any more happier. Like that opportunity at that age as well.
Is that the match where you just went out and basically just battered him?
Yeah.
Didn't he like do it? I'm pretty sure. I thought I remembered it. He did a promo. He did a promo in the ring or something, talking whatever rubbish, and then you went out and just basically kicked 10 bells of shit out of him, basically.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, that's one hell of a debut, isn't it?
Yeah. That's one hell of an impact.
Imagine making that as your debut. What did you do? I'll just kick 10 bells out of someone in my debut.
That's one hell of an impact. Yeah. So from that moment, you've done it. You finally got in that ring. So again, how are their emotions? What are their emotions in you for finally getting in there, finally doing it? What are their emotions for you?
Emotions, honestly, like they were just running high. To be honest, like I just had so many emotions. It was like this. It was like I just felt sad, but like happy sad, because I just felt like it's all like it's what I wanted to do, and being able to do it. Words can't even like I can't even put into words like how amazing it was.
How was it before you went out? Like, so I mean, I can only speak from my experience. Before my first, going through the curtain, CPW show, I was shitting myself. If I'm honest with you, absolutely taking it. And how was you?
I was like, to be honest, I was shaking. I was literally shaking backstage, because as soon as you step through that curtain, like it's now or never now. Like you got to go out there and just give it your all and just like impress people. But yeah, when I was backstage, like, before I went out the curtain, I was shitting myself. Well, I was so sick.
I guess for you as well, like it's a lot of built up emotions as well, because like you say, if you started training back at 10 or 11, that's 3/4 years where you've been around shows, obviously due to your age and stuff, you've been around shows, helping out, being involved, seeing it all the time, training week in, week out, non-stop training, just to do what everyone else is doing. But obviously, due to your age, it's like we can't do it yet. And then finally the moment comes where it's like, you know what? 3 years, 4 years now, all paid off this one moment. Like that had to have been like something like heartwarming and heartfelt, knowing that after 3-4 years, all the hard work you've done, busting yourself to make yourself at that position must have all been worth it.
Yeah, it definitely was.
I mean, we actually got a question from Commentary Pro Wrestling. It says, how did you deal with and feel like the pressure of being the talent that everyone knew would be a huge star right from the start?
Oh, like I don't even know, to be fair. Like, at the time, I just thought to myself, I was like, I'm just gonna go out there and wrestle, try and make an impact. And like, I don't think, like, I don't really have much like hope in myself, but like, as long as I keep doing what I'm doing, then I'm happy. And like, obviously, to hear people say that like, future of wrestling, it's proper nice to hear. Like, it means a lot to me, because it's like people like kind of like see some talent in me. It's amazing. It is just amazing. Like, yeah.
Honestly, Chantal, I defy anybody to ever watch you in that ring and not see talent, because you are incredible in there.
Absolutely fantastic.
Would you say you're then, obviously, like you said there about how obviously like you're critical of yourself as well? Are you very hard on yourself then? Do you like watch your matches back and hard on yourself, even though someone else might have said, "Oh, that's the best match I've ever seen you do"?
Every time I watch matches back, it's like I'll always find so much stuff wrong with what I'm doing. Like, even someone can tell me, "Oh my God, Shan, that's like the best match you've ever had," or whatever. I'll always find something. No, I don't think any wrestler can turn around and say that they can't find something like in a match that they watch back of theirs that they're, oh, I didn't do that like well, or oh, I did it wrong. Like, they'll always be awesome. So I am like kind of critical of myself, but at the same time, I think it's good sometimes to be critical on yourself. That's how you learn. That's how you get better.
Yeah, I mean, talking about your training and stuff, two people that I know, I got to know well, and I know that obviously have a big influence and down at Kamikaze and also at the venue where you train, are the Hunter brothers. Now, coming to Pro Wrestling, I asked the question is how awe-inspiring and of an influence were the Hunter brothers during your early years of training and being throughout your training process?
I think like they've been a massive influence, because they're just, every time they wrestle, they're amazing. And I actually had like the pleasure of training with Lee Hunter. It was like last year, when obviously we're allowed to train, like when it was opening up a bit more in lockdown. I got to like train for about a couple of months on off with him, and I think I learned so much just by training with him in like one session. And it was like the knowledge like the Hunter brothers know is mental, and they'll always inspire me, like how well they were doing. Like, it was just crazy to see. I'm grateful for the opportunity to see them wrestle.
I can only imagine how cool that is. I mean, you're right. Those two are amazing performers, and you're lucky to have been trained by somebody of that caliber, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I talk from personal thing. I've had the privilege of training with them, doing seminars with them and stuff. And I think, like you say, they're just a massive fountain of knowledge, and they're two guys as well that are so down to earth and happy to give you their time. And I guess someone like yourself as well, where, you know, when you start, you know, people start putting eyes on you and making names of yourself as well, like, they're people that really want to help each other out. And I guess they were really forthcoming with the help that they've put in through your training. Is there anything that would you say is anything that you learned from them or you took from them specifically that you sort of use and use and utilize every time you go out there?
I think it's just like feeding off the crowd a lot more, like interacting with the crowd a lot more. That's something I've definitely like learned from them, that because like the crowd's like everything. They've learned that in lockdown now, like with all like shows gone and everything, like, and tapings. Without the crowd, it's not the same. So yeah, I definitely think obviously the crowd is like a major thing I've took on board. And then I think like obviously just technical wrestling as well. I'm trying to improve that. Like, I actually learn some new technical stuff with them, so I'll use some of that at some point.
Right. Sounds like Chantal.
I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, like you say, we've seen. If people haven't seen these guys wrestle, I mean, you've missed out. And one thing they're very good at is, obviously, tag team wrestling is their speciality, but they're both very good at performing as well. Know how to get the crowd involved, and their crowd work is phenomenal from time to time. Who else? Obviously going through all the training stuff, and obviously having. I know you've done your fair share of seminars in your days of training. Who are certain seminars you've done, or people that you've trained with, who you think you've had great experiences with, or been able to be really privileged to have had those opportunities training with?
So one of my favourite seminars ever was with Young, from Impact.
Oh, Eric Young.
Stu Young. Stu Young.
Who?
Oh, the Young. Oh, I know you're on about now. Yeah.
Yeah, the Undead Bridesmaid.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Sue Young. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I couldn't really said to you with.
I think that seminar was just great, and even though we weren't doing all these fancy stuff, you just learn a lot through people speaking and telling you their experiences and certain ways how they've been trained. And I think that seminar was definitely one of them that I've learned something from that. And also my seminars with Chantal, Portugal's perfect athlete.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Definitely her as well. I've had about 6 now with her.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I had a seminar with her, it always does, man. She's got amazing knowledge. She knows a lot of stuff. But yeah, I think they're my 2 favourites.
Would you say, obviously, I know you've done seminars with men and women as well. You, as obviously being trained, obviously most of the time by men, and obviously doing a lot of seminars by men. Do you enjoy the ones and find it more comforting as a women's wrestler doing the seminars with women? Because obviously then you're getting the side, getting the training from them, but also the knowledge from them that are, doing the same thing as you, really.
I think it depends sometimes, to be fair, because I don't know. I think I like both, but I think sometimes I prefer the male seminars.
Okay.
I don't know. I just I find. Yeah, I just prefer the male ones. To be honest. And
what's some of the ones that you've done, that stand out for you with the sort of the male wrestlers?
So I had one with Davey Richards.
Yeah. And
so that stood out to me, and then I had one with Rhino.
Oh, nice.
What?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And that one was proper good, and obviously Pete Dunne as well. I had 2 with Pete Dunne. I think the Pete Dunne one was a major standout one to me, because he's got that technical side and then strikes as well. I think it definitely helped me a lot. All these seminars helped me.
I'm real jealous of the Pete Dunne one. I mean, I'm a big Pete Dunne fan now, so I wish I'd have done that. That's awesome.
Oh, that would have been awesome, to be fair.
Pete Dunne's someone who's been on CPW shows.
He was on our first season. He was on CPW last day. Yes.
The one I think apart from Pete Dunne, Rhino's the only person you probably mentioned that Dal knows. Out of all the other people.
Dale don't watch Impact. He don't watch any of the others.
Dal, WWE through and through, aren't you, Dal?
Hey, listen, Rhino, yes. I know Pete Dunne. So Pete Dunne from CPW.
Yes, mate. So we're talking about we're still on training. The obviously in-house training at Cami is where obviously you've learned most of your craft. Talk us through obviously the training you got from that, and how that their training's helped you throughout your years to grow as well, and especially as you got older and had to redevelop and maybe rechange things as you got older. How have they helped with that side of things in your training?
I think, to be honest, it's not. I think they always help, and it's hard to explain how they help, but the training that they do as well, they do it like in styles, kind of like, so one session will be like a submission kind of session, so it'd be called like stretch Monday, and then Wednesdays is like different, like wrestling, so like either running spots, striking spots, and I think they do the sessions like in order to help you grow as like a performer. So obviously there will be this stuff that's like, oh, I'm never going to use that in a match, but there'll be some things that are like, oh yeah, I'd use that, you know. And like, yeah, it's just consistently like working on cardio, like making sure you're in good, like, obviously have a good like good shape and everything. And then it's just, yeah, it's just like it's helped me so much. And I can't explain how it helped me, but just the way the training is, it's helped me get better as a performer. And the fact that they just bring in people as well, it all helps.
Who are the? I mean, it's been a while probably since I've had a look in, but who are the main people sort of like nowadays or throughout your time that have been the ones that are sort of doing the main training sessions or taking the training sessions there really at Kamikaze to help you along?
So obviously at the minute it's always been Marshall X, so James Gallagher, who teaches the sessions, and obviously he's always been there for me, like all the time. Like a massive shout out to him. Like I wouldn't be where I am like right now if it wasn't for him. And then like to be honest, it's just him obviously teaches it. But then there's obviously the Elliot Jordan experience who'll sometimes like help out. I think that, and Doris obviously. I think that's about it, to be fair, yeah.
Okay. No, just as I said, just wondering who are the ones who sort of do the training. I know Marshall X, like I say, is the main guy that does your training sessions there, and has probably been the biggest influence throughout your time, and obviously the Hunter Brothers has helped out as well. So obviously, when you obviously were doing the training, where did the idea first of all come for what was originally your name, the baddest girl, Chantal Jordan? Where did all the names come from and the idea come from? And sort of how long into your training was that sort of developed or thought of as an idea?
So, to be honest, the baddest girl on the planet was like, it was just before my debut that we'd come up with it. We'd come up with it like on the week. But before that, I was just struggling for names. And like, he was like to me, why don't you call yourself the baddest girl on the planet? Because at the time I had some like, I was a completely different gimmick. Like I was, no joke, I was called CJ Boom.
Okay, talk about CJ Boom.
CJ Boom.
That's a winner right there. I love it.
There you go. I should have it down a t-shirt.
CJ Boom hitting the springboards.
And then every time you hit someone, you can be like, CJ Boom! CJ Boom! It's a winner.
There you go. That's guaranteed. That is money, that is.
And like at the time I was thinking, like this could be good, you know, like CJ Boom, and then my ending catchphrase was boom, boom, boom on every
Wait, I'm sorry, but wasn't that Basil Brush's like fucking catchphrase? Boom, boom. The little puppet fox.
Yeah, I think Basil Brush used to go boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, we don't want that. No, you're right there.
It just like, it didn't suit me because obviously my instructor was like, you're a kickboxer, you're training like in MMA. I don't think people are going to take you seriously if you like called CJ Boom. So why don't you use your actual name and call yourself baddest on the planet? And that's kind of where that took off until obviously it changed to the back door then. But yeah, that's how it took off.
I mean, you're lucky, to be fair, that your name, like, it works. You know, it doesn't sound silly. I mean, you could have, I obviously don't use my real name, but like, there's a lot of other people, like, you know, there's certain people out there with unfortunate names that, you know, couldn't use their name, like, for wrestling, because it just sounds, you can't have the announcer calling out Derek Slongwingler or something like that. You know, it just, I don't know, just a
not
shit
even
name.
my name. Just using my name don't work. Nathan Lewis, like who cares? Like it's just like it's not a name that has a hit to it or a catch to it.
But Chantal Jordan does sound, you know, it's, obviously, you know, you've got like Michael Jordan and that, you know, like, but it sounds good. It sounds good, like, and it works. So yeah, you're lucky your name actually sounds good. But yeah, so no CJ Boone, right? But do you ever look back on that fondly and think maybe one day I'll bust out a CJ Boone for one show, just bring it back, like Mick Foley did with Dude Love. Would you ever do that?
I mean, like, I get asked a lot, like, but some of my close mates are like, Shan, you should just do it for the bands. You should come out at one show, like, come out with, like, your snapback on that says boom, boom, boom on it. You should come out in, like, CJ Boom stuff and just do it for one show. And I'm thinking to myself, I am tempted at some point just to, like, pop everyone and be like, just shock to the system, like, just do it at some point. But yeah, it's like, it's always in the back of my head to just like do it once. You never know, might happen.
Do you think it is? I mean, knowing Kamikaze and obviously the house shows that they do, it's something that would work there on the house shows because they would know you for so long, and then they would find the funny side to it, and they'd be able to go, "Oh, this is awesome! This is like a fun side of Chantal that we're seeing, rather than the ass kicker." You know. It would probably work on like the house shows that they do because of the fact is like they know you so well.
I think I'd do it on like a Halloween show, you know, because
that's your fancy dress of the night. Come out, CJ Boom. So we've just been joined by say hello to Ash Atkins and Emma Cross, CBW Galaxy champion, has joined us.
Yes.
Shorty says thank you for eating your words, Dale.
Yep, I did.
And she's put adore Chantal. Thank you so much.
No worries. Much love.
That's everything on the YouTube. So we're talking, you know, we're just here chatting, having a good old chinwag about you wrestling, and you know, we've done a lot here about your training stuff. So you've made your debut, and you know, you started on your wrestling path and your wrestling career. What are some of the early fond moments of your wrestling career and some of the matches that stand out to you in your first year of wrestling, or some of the things you got involved in your first year of wrestling?
So in my first year of wrestling, there was a match that I had. It was at I think it was the Kamikaze Frostfight. So I made my debut obviously in June on the live shows, dojo shows. But I made my debut the main roster in December of that year.
Okay.
And it was on the biggest show, like kind of the biggest show of the year as well. And I wrestled obviously James, my instructor. And I think that was one of the best of my first year of wrestling, with wrestling him, because it's just like, it's nice to get in there with someone like stranger, and like they know you so well. So they know, like, obviously what you can take and everything. I think that's definitely up there. And then I had a match in April, which was against Shanna. And also I had Lana Austin and Charlie Evans on that night.
Okay.
And them 3 matches that I had on that night, I learned so much. And I was just so grateful as well to like have the opportunity to wrestle, like, obviously Charlie Evans, Lana Austin, and like Shanna. It's like, it was just crazy to me. At the time I was like, I didn't think I like deserved to like have that spot when like there was obviously people like Giselle Shaw on the show, like Chikara, Sarah Loxton, and like I just thought I didn't fit in. But then just like the crowd at the end, and when they were just chanting my name, I just felt like I belonged, and it was definitely one of the greatest moments, like on my first year wrestling, and also just in my life. Yeah.
What was that first experience then? Going, like say, like it's very rare people get the opportunity to wrestle their trainer or that's as we call him, sensei. You know, or when people do get the opportunity, it's a great honor because, like you say, like it's learning from the person that's taught you everything you know, and like you say, there's no one who knows you better than the person that's taught you everything. What was that? What was that moment like when you were told, "Oh, this is your match at the weekend. This is what's happening for you," and like you having that feeling of going, "Oh, I'm getting this opportunity." What was that like, knowing that you're going to wrestle the person that sort of gave you all the opportunities in the training?
I was quite shocked, to be honest, because I never thought that he'd like debut on the main show that quick, and especially like still at a young age as well. I was thinking to myself, I was like, nah, like it won't be until like I'm 16 years old that I'll get on the main show. When he told me, obviously, I'll be wrestling him, it was just like, wow. Like, I felt like I was so safe as well, like knowing that I was wrestling him. I knew that I didn't have to like stress as much. I think it would have been a different story if I was wrestling somebody else, because then I would have been stressing like a lot more on like that big stage. So like to wrestle him, just it felt amazing, and like the nerves obviously were high at the same time. It was just amazing. Like I was just shocked.
And I guess, like you say as well, like that feeling of him giving you the nod and saying, "Look, me and you," it's like a big honor as well, because, like you say, like it shows that he believes in you that much that he wants to go out there and wrestle you and show you off on the main roster and show you off to all the fans.
Just amazing. Like I'm forever grateful. Always, like, yeah.
You mentioned Lana Austin. Lana Austin is someone that we know very well at CPW, been on many CPW shows in the past. And also a woman who is a massive, massive name on the UK scene. You know, if you talk about women in UK wrestling, you know, her name is someone that's always mentioned. What was that like, going up against someone with such a big name in women's wrestling in the UK?
It was great, you know, because like, obviously I'd started when I was watching live shows. I was also watching Lana as well, and like I'll be seeing like Lana Austin, Katie Ray, all of them not wrestling, and then to actually wrestle Lana with all like the experience I had, it was definitely a learning curve for me. Like I learned again so much from that match, and I would always went to like wrestle Lana again. Like I'd literally wrestle her every weekend if I could, because she's just amazing, and like she's so humble as well. She's just genuinely, she's like a gift in the wrestling business. Definitely.
Can't argue with that. To be obviously, Lana is an awesome talent, and every time I see her in the ring, it's just been phenomenal. Every single time. So yeah, absolutely agree with you on that one.
So you love to wrestle, Lana. That's fair enough. But I can just see there's a question coming on YouTube from Ash Atkins, who says, Chantal, who is your dream tag partner, if you have one?
Dream tag partner. I'd say Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I can see that.
Two people don't mind kicking people's heads off there.
Yes.
Whoever's on the other side of the ring is going to get hurt that
night. They're going to feel it.
You mentioned international stars there. Charlie Evans, New Zealand she's from, or was Australia? One of the Australia. Yeah. And obviously Shana, obviously we mentioned earlier on in the evening, but also someone who's made a big name on the international circuit, and also recently over on AEW, being featured on AEW. What was it like wrestling international stars, or how do you feel when you get those opportunities to wrestle these international stars, or these people that are over here, you know, doing the circuit?
It feels great, because obviously I've only been in the wrestling business for 3 years, and like to think that I was wrestling big name people in like my first year wrestling, and like I'm just thankful for the opportunity, and like I wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for like them matches. And like, yeah, I think it's just helped me a lot, and I'm just proper grateful for them. It's just amazing experiences, like just an amazing experience. Just learn from like people who've been in the business for longer. I've been learning like different stuff from different areas. It's just great.
I mean, how amazing is that? You said only 3 years. I mean, to have done what you've done in that time so far.
Yeah.
I mean, that must be just so awesome. Because I mean, you've got so much ahead of you. So to actually just do what you've done so far in 3 years, wow.
What would you say you learned from wrestling those 3 women early on in your career? What did you learn from them and take from them?
I think they're just like, it was just like, it's hard to like put into words. It's like I just learned like how to just wrestle better. that's kind of like one of them that obviously I took on board, and I think it's like I can't really put a finger on like what it is, but something helped me. I don't know what it is, but like something helped me, like, and yeah, it's just hard to explain.
So I mentioned they're international stars, and I think before we move on to your CPW career and stuff that you've done in CPW shortly, I think we have to talk about a certain match that sort of blew up the internet. That took place still early on in your career, and that was when you faced Joey Janela. And that match sort of ended up all over the internet.
Everywhere.
Everyone was talking about it, this and that about it, the good, the bad, the whatever. I think it's about time maybe you got to speak about it. I mean, what was that match like for you? What was that experience for you? How did you feel being put in that situation and certain stuff that went on in that match? And then how did you deal with all the stuff that happened? How big it blew up and everyone's talking about it. People talking about it in America, people talking about it all over the UK. How did you deal with all that?
So obviously when I first got told I was wrestling Joey Janela, it was like, nah, that can't be true. Not at all. It was just a major shock to me. And then when obviously we'd wrestled and I got backstage and I was just sitting there on the car and I was thinking to myself, I was like what has just happened? I felt so happy. It was unreal because the crowd were just going mental for my name. I think that was the match that elevated me, kind of, if you get me. I think that was definitely the match, and to just see the reaction on social media and see it all in the newspapers, Lad Bible, Sports Bible, it was just going viral everywhere. It was just crazy to me because I never thought ever that I'd go viral on social media. Never ever thought it. And then get straight away over 1,000 followers in days. I was like, what is going on? It's definitely an amazing experience.
It was everywhere. I was at work today and I was telling one of the girls I work with, about the podcast tonight and who I've got on. And she was, so who's that? And he started explaining about this match. And she was like, yeah, I saw that shit. I'm going to watch. So firstly, if you're watching, hello. But yeah, she was like, I'm going to watch just for that. She's not a wrestling fan at all. And everybody's seen that. That was everywhere, man. How did that feel, man? Seeing yourself just everywhere, everywhere you put on Facebook, boom, it was fucking everywhere. How was that, man?
It was just crazy. I was so happy and so emotional at the same time because just seeing your face, obviously, as soon as you open up Facebook, oh yeah, someone's shared a video of Sports Bible, Lad Bible. Oh my god, Chantal Jordan jumps off a phone box. It's it's just a surreal moment. I can't even put into words. It's just great. It was amazing.
At the time, I was like, I know her. I fucking know her. You know what I mean?
But like Lee said, it was like everywhere. I mean, honestly, you every single time you went on Facebook, you went on Twitter, it was just there. We were like, wow, look at that. Absolutely magnificent. And also, I mean, I just got a quick question from Commentary Pro Wrestling. It says, did that match open doors for you that were previously closed, do you think?
I think in a way it kind of did open some doors for me because people kind of hadn't saw that side to my wrestling. Like, you'd think that, oh yeah, Chantal, she just hitboxer, she does the kicks and all that. But then, like, obviously doing a Force Cat Anywhere match, it definitely like opened a lot more doors to me because then people were booking me in matches like cage matches, like no disqualification matches. And it definitely opened a lot of doors for me. I even got like booked abroad as well, like to do a hardcore match. And it was just like it definitely opened it all up for me.
Wow, that must have been an amazing thing to know that everybody was just like, right, let's get Chantal in. Let's do it. Let's get her in. That must have been amazing.
And then obviously that happens, and then you've blown up on the internet. You're now, everyone wants you on their show because people have seen the video. People have said, well, they know the name Chantal Jordan now.
Yeah.
Did you feel like it also added more pressure to you?
I think it kind of did in a way, yeah, because when obviously you've got all that spotlight, you need to kind of like, and then say like all these people are trying to book you, they're gonna want you on their show and they're gonna want you to like be like good. So like it kind of did obviously add a little bit of pressure to me because I was thinking to myself, I was like, I'm not ready for any of this. Like I'm still like a couple of months into like my year of wrestling. And like, yeah, I think it definitely did add like quite a bit of pressure to me to like do well. But I just kept pushing like and just kept like consistently training and kept trying to like better myself and just like hoping that like more opportunities will come around the corner.
I also got a quick question from Shorty. She says, what advice would Chantal give to young and up-and-coming lionesses? What advice would you give them?
I think, to be honest, consistently train, like keep training, keep learning. Ask for like feedback after matches from people who you look up to, like who you wanna ask to give you feedback, because I think there's no point asking someone that you don't really want to like, you don't care about their opinion. Obviously.
That's made my night, because I now think that people are going to be like backstage shows that listen to with Chantal going, she never asked me for advice. Josh don't care about my opinion.
She doesn't ask you. You just ask her. She doesn't care about
you. She doesn't ask you or listen to what you have to say. You know that she don't care about your opinion. This is a fact.
But like, yeah, so just like ask for obviously people's matches and everything. Get like advice, feedback, learn from like your mistakes. I'd say stay humble. Definitely stay humble.
Chantal, I mean, you just said, I hope you're prepared now for a lot of people asking you, because I mean, you're a hell of a lot younger than me, but I'd appreciate your opinion on my matches, because I love watching you wrestle and you're brilliant, so to have, your opinion on, so I hope you're prepared for a lot of people to come to you now and ask you.
Oh, I'd love it, to be honest. Like, I love it, like, when someone asks me, like, oh, what did you think of my match? I'm like, I just feel like proper happy, because like it feel like someone actually respects me and like they want to like personally want to learn, and I think it's just like it's just great. And like, yeah, that's my main advice: stay humble, keep learning, keep training, and just keep like promoting yourself on social media and just advertising yourself, definitely. And you'll make it.
No, I mean, I can't argue that advice. It's great advice. And I think the biggest one out of that I take from that and that everyone should listen to is that word, humble.
Yeah.
Got to stay humble in this business. And like I say, respect those who are maybe above you and stuff like that.
Like, definitely, because, like, not everyone's going to be your friend. Not everyone's going to want to. As long as you're focusing on yourself and trying to make you better, then that is all that matters. Like, prioritize yourself before anyone else. Like, yeah, I think obviously wrestling can be quite negative and toxic, but as long as you're surrounded by good people, I think that's what matters.
I guess it also comes down to respecting, like you say, if someone like yourself, you've always shown loyalty, but also respect to those people that have given you opportunities or gone out of the way to help you on your path and your career. And that's obviously part of being humble. And like you say, like the negativity, there is so much negativity in wrestling, and you can't, for those watching, it is a true fact, unfortunately, in this business. And like you say, putting yourself around people that give good energy and good and positive vibes is also helpful, especially with everything that goes on in this business.
You've always been nothing but positive, though, Chantal. I can definitely say that. Anytime you're backstage, always nothing but positive, and you're a joy to have there.
Thank you. You're a joy to be around as well. All of you.
Thank you very much. I was waiting for that, but thank you.
Good to be around. Sometimes
he's not so much a joy to be around sometimes. But Wes has just said, hello everyone, first of all. With Chantal having so much hype and good things said about her, does she have any regrets so far? But he said, saying him as a mate doesn't count, but we all regret.
Everyone regrets having Wes as a mate, don't worry.
Unfortunately, that's just a regret we all have to live with.
It's like any regrets.
Yeah.
Just in wrestling.
Well, yeah.
I mean, do you have any regrets in general then?
Yeah. I think I don't know, like I regret putting everyone's happiness first before mine, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like spent a lot of time like trying to like please people when I should be like kind of focused on myself. I think that's one of the biggest regrets for me. It's just like, and then from that as well, because I'm like focusing on like other people and like focusing maybe like on one person. I'm like everyone else. Like, yeah, I definitely regret that. Definitely.
Yeah, that's fair.
Regrets.
I think that's, like you say, one of those things when you're such especially, I mean, you're someone of your age you speak someone of definitely a lot older. I'll say that for a fact. Very wise at your age. And the thing is, like you say, that when you're someone who's so kind at heart and such just a nice person in general, and you focus on putting people first and stuff, you sort of do neglect yourself or forget about sometimes you need to put yourself first and be selfish. And sometimes to do things the right way, you have to be selfish. You have to sometimes get rid of certain people or end certain things and say, no, this is no longer healthy for me. I have to turn away from this and I have to do this because it's healthy for me as a person. And that's a hard thing to do. And especially as, I'm 30 years old and it took me only recently to make certain decisions like that. And you're a lot younger and you're making those decisions now is awesome to hear. And obviously to have that kind of wise head already is going to go a long way for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think.
Sorry, Wes, another question, just quickly.
Sorry, mate, go on.
While we were answering questions from Wes, he just added another one, which is something I was going to ask anyway. But how proud are you of your brother? How far he's come.
Oh my God, I'm like, words can't even describe like proud I am with my brother. Like, obviously, many people like, I'm always like, I don't know, I always like, I bits, and like, if anyone ever hurt in wrestling business, I'll be knocking on their door. No, I'm joking, but like,
no, you should be, man, and they should be worried to have Chantal Jordan knocking on their fucking door. Definitely.
like,
I just imagine Chantal knocking the door, that open the door, just roundhouse kick the head.
Boom.
Oh, see you later.
DJ Boom.
Yeah, that's right.
CJ Boone's the name. See you later.
house boy. Oh God, but yeah, I just like, I'm so proud of him, proper proud of him.
You should be. I mean, like we love having you at CPW. Brandon's somebody we love having there as well, and you know, from just such a young age, the talent he's got and the passion he's got for it. You know, I love seeing him in there. And Wes also has just said, you, Brandon, and your mum are some of the nicest people I've met outside of CPW.
No,
I can speak from personal experiences that Brandon is one hell of a wrestler and performer, and has one hell of a bright future. That is for sure. And I'm guessing wrestling just runs in the family there, when it's got two of you that are so good at wrestling, and where you can't go wrong when both of you are going to probably be big names in the future, and that's a fact here on Talking Madness.
Yeah, but
so we talking about your wrestling career. We're just talking about that massive match that blew up the internet. That all happened, and then you make your way over to CPW, and you start your journey here at CPW. And I'm going to pass over to the man with the facts and the man that has all the knowledge, which is Dale Richardson, to start talking about, obviously, that first match when you came in CPW.
Well, I mean, like they've said, the majority of the other thing, it worked. It was sort of you were with CPW at that point as well. But anyway, Nathan, that's the facts. So
cheers, mate.
So Chantal, so like I say, the 3 years you've been when you started at Kamikaze, so you decided to sort of branch out a little bit. So how was that feeling for you? How did you feel when you decided, right, I need to get out of which Kamikaze, where you train, where you decided, right, I'm gonna go to other places? When did you make that decision?
So it kind of like, it happened naturally, to be fair. Obviously I was doing the Kamikaze show, and then I'd got messaged for another company.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was called Walker, and I just got that opportunity just like that. And then after that, I just, any booking that like kind of come up, I just took it, because I feel like you should always take every opportunity that comes your way, because at the end of the day, it's more ring experience and you're just learning more. Yeah.
So you get these other bookings and the opportunity to work at other promotions. What's some of the other promotions that you've had the opportunity to work at that stand out for you, or that you enjoy to go and wrestle at?
So there's one called Revolution Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, Rev Pro.
I've done 2 shows for them at the minute, but every time like I've been there, I've just proper enjoyed it, and like the environment's nice, and also it's like it's a big company in the UK. Like obviously I'm proud to even like get on there. And then there's also SWW as well, Southwest Wrestling. Yeah. I've done quite a few shows for them, and every time I just enjoy it. Like the vibe there, the fans there, it's just great. It's amazing. Definitely.
And what's some of the standout matches you've had in these promotions, or who are some of the people that you've had the opportunity to go work after, traveling around and obviously having the experience of going to other companies?
So obviously I got to wrestle Shanna again, also at Rev Pro. So that was great, because I never thought that I'd get to wrestle her anywhere else other than Kamikaze, because that was her main like promotion that she like constantly be at. But yeah, definitely that. And then I wrestled also Giselle Shaw at Fierce Feet Scotland.
Okay.
I've always wanted to wrestle Giselle Shaw, so like to be main eventing the show with Giselle, it was just great. Yeah.
So when you go to all these other companies, sorry, I mean, obviously, you know, you're still quite young, right? You don't drive, yeah, no. So like, is it your mum who takes you there to all of these shows?
So my mum takes me to like pretty much most of them. Sometimes, obviously, I have other transport, but it's mainly my mum. But
That's what I mean. That kind of support and that kind of, you know, like, always willing to be there. I mean, yeah, I've met your mum a few times at our shows, and she's a lovely lady, and you can see the support you get from her, and you know, so yeah, big shout out to Chantal's mum. Big shout out.
Always.
Shout out. Yeah, I've known it both well.
It's got to be amazing to have that support from your family, isn't it? To always be able to count on that, and you know, like you say, you know, like she takes you to most shows, so without your mum, it'd be a lot more difficult to get there. So that's got to be great.
Yeah, it's just amazing, like having that support. It's like it's great because in one way, with that as well, I don't know what I'd do like if I didn't have her supporting me. I feel like a part of me like would just be missing in wrestling, like
Yeah, I mean, like I said, big shout out to your mum. Like I said, she's a lovely woman. Natalie, she's a great woman. And even CPW said you know your mum is truly amazing. So yeah, CPW put that up. So
I've had many conversations with your mum, and always lovely to speak to her, and has a lot of nice things to say about a lot of people as well, which is always good to hear. So you mentioned there working at Shana for the second time. What was that like going in second time, being later on in your career, being more experienced, and knowing that you probably, you know, that it's going to be slightly different to the first time when you're really early on in your career? What was that second match like for you, knowing you're more experienced?
It was cool, to be honest, because like obviously I knew I've changed, like watching that match back and then watching my first time match back with her. It's like two completely different people of me. Like watching it back, like my first time match, I think like, what the hell? Like, what am I doing? But at the time, people are like, oh my god, like that was amazing. And then I just watch it back and I'm like, I'm like, how did you think I was doing amazing in that? Yeah.
How much you been drinking?
Then like obviously match at Rev Pro, it was just crazy because I was doing different stuff. I was a lot more confident. And it's just weird to see how much like you can change like in such like a short amount of time. Yeah. And how much it's great.
Yeah, I mean to compare yourself, like you say, from when your first match and to the second match, I mean it's just show how much you've developed and how much you've improved. So you know, it's a great thing when that happens, when you see that, right, I got better, I did that better, I improved, and that's always a great thing, you know. But I've also got a question from Ash Atkins. It says, what wrestling companies in the future would you like to wrestle for, which haven't been so far, and why?
So I'd love to debut for Progress Wrestling. That's definitely up there, like top, because I think they've got like it's a massive platform to get onto, and it's also linked to NXT UK as well, especially like on the on-demand, like the network. So that's definitely one I'd love to get into. And then another one is WXW in Germany.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, I'd love to wrestle in Germany. I think that company it's always been like top of my list.
They're probably the biggest company in Europe.
Yeah, definitely.
Out of all the countries.
The shows they like pull off is it's amazing.
Well, I'm pretty sure that you know, it's just the shit you've done in the short amount of time you've been wrestling. I'm pretty sure that if that's what you want to do, that's what's going to happen.
I could argue with that.
The show that stands out for me always every year for WXW, the one I look forward to, is the Golden Standard.
Yes.
I don't know if it's called Golden Standard. The one where it's all to do with gold. The big tournament one.
Carat
It's golden.
gold.
Yeah,
That
Carat Gold. That's the one. Carat Gold. That tournament has some of the biggest names on the independent scene around the world featured in it. I mean, if you look at the people that came out of WXW as well, that are in WWE these days on NXT UK and also in NXT, they've had some guys that they're also someone that's linked to WWE now on the network as well. So it's another company, like you say, that you can get involved in that's going to get your eyes on you from WWE.
Definitely. That's what I want.
Like Lee said, the future for you could be that amazing. Is the WWE, like you said, that is, I would say for a lot of people would be their target. Would you love that opportunity? Do you think you can get there? Do you believe in yourself that you can be there one day?
Obviously, if WWE ever offered me an opportunity, I'd take it straight away. I wouldn't hesitate. I'd take it. And obviously, I feel like it's hard to say whether I think I deserve it or not. Because I still think though, in one way though, I've still got more years to come, and I still want to wrestle on the UK scene and just fulfill my goal of traveling the world, wrestling loads of different countries before I actually get to some main stage.
Because I take it Stardom would be on top of your list as well, somewhere to wrestle, which is obviously Japan.
Japan is up there, definitely.
Yeah.
It's a place I've always wanted to go.
Because I mean, Stardom as well. I mean, you look at some of the names that have come out of Stardom, and even some of the women that have gone over here, from over here to Stardom, and then gone to make names for themselves. It's been a very impressive bunch of females that have gone over from the UK to have a great career in wrestling after that. Because there's certain promotions out there that are, I would say, amazing promotions for women. Stardom. What's the one in America?
Is it Shimmer?
Yeah, Shimmer. Those promotions that are focused fully just on women's wrestling, do so much for women as well. And like I say, Stardom has made some great careers at it. Well, you mentioned there as well, obviously, wrestling Giselle Shaw, another amazing international superstar. Someone who had one of the greatest trainers teach them their craft. What was that experience like, going into the ring with someone of her caliber and coming over from Canada and training with Lance Storm and that experience behind her? What was that experience like for you?
It was an amazing experience. It's to everyone, but it was just an amazing experience. And obviously, again, with all the knowledge she's got, and the people she's trained with, it's I knew I was gonna learn something from that. And she's always been someone that I've wanted to wrestle on my bucket list. So to get to wrestle her, it's amazing. She's she's one of the best women's wrestlers in the UK. I think nearly in the world as well.
And is there any? I know we've mentioned tag partners and people about that. Is there any international or any women out there that you've not had the opportunity to wrestle yet that you would love to wrestle, that maybe not in WWE, that are sort of on the independent scene at the moment, and obviously as well as, is there anyone in WWE that you'd love to wrestle?
So I've always said I've always determined, Thunder Rosa.
Yes.
That's number one at the minute. Someone I'd want to wrestle. And then in WWE, there's so many like good people like Sasha Banks, Rhea Ripley, and also Shayna Baszler.
Yes.
I mean, any one of those 3 matches that I'd pay to see, you know, Chantal Jordan versus any of those 3, I'd pay money to see that.
I would have no problem. I would have no problem sitting there front row to watch that match.
Take money.
Well,
take the money.
Thunder Rosa used to do every year a 1 month or 2 month tour of the UK. I don't know anymore because now where she's involved with NWA, AEW and stuff. I don't know what her how she plans to do her schedule. But I remember she came over a few years ago and wrestled a good tour around the UK.
I remember that.
I think I was at a show with her, and one of our old women from CPW that left ages ago had the opportunity to wrestle her in that opportunity. And again, I think someone like you and her would have a great match, especially with the experience she brings from that side of the world. But I definitely want to see Shayna Baszler. I mean, she's a MMA lass, and you and her going
hard hitting with that match.
I mean, you know what I mean?
I'd love it.
I'd love to see that. Yeah,
it would just be like absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Definitely would be absolutely amazing matches.
So, I mean, you talk about obviously those goals and stuff and achieving those things. I mean, do you have a plan in the near future when you want to maybe try and go to sort of either Japan or get those opportunities in Germany? And how do you go about it? Do you look to sometimes approach people, or do you wait to be approached?
So with me, like, I wait to be approached. I don't always like obviously make contact first, but I think obviously now that I'm turning 18 in September, I'm gonna start like messaging the promotions that I do really want to work for, and also like start traveling. Like say WXW, I want to at least like travel down over to them and train like with them, you know, with their dojo.
Yeah.
Go down and like train with them, because that's kind of like a little bit of a foot in the door, and kind of and then with progress, just obviously make contact and just do my best to like try and like get noticed by these like companies. That's my plan.
Do you think once you turned 18, it's going to be easier to have that communication and be able to get those opportunities at some of these bigger promotions once you're 18, but then it would have been if you were 16, 17 still?
I think it'll definitely like be kind of like easier for me when I turn 18, because obviously it opens a lot more places at them, because some people, they can't book when you're 18 and there's not like as many opportunities for you then. So I do think, I'm hoping it will open some like barriers for me. I am hoping.
And we're talking about dream stuff here, or opportunities that you're looking forward to in the future. Is there any match stipulations that you've not been involved in yet, or have you got a certain match stipulation that you'd love to do, or you've always dreamt of doing a certain type of match but you've not had the opportunity yet? Well, have you already done every match there is so far in such his early career? I'm joking.
Get some more off the list.
You know, I can't actually think of one.
It's all right if you can't. Just wondering. It's probably one of those perks that you managed to do so much at such a young age as well, that even when you get to 18 and these other promotions and you start booking more promotions, it's like, well, I've done this type of match before, I've done this type of match before, and then you kind of end up being sort of more the experienced person in that match type, even though you're probably the younger one of the competitors.
That could become a bit worrying, man. They could start come up with just some like the sickest shit they can come up with. You've done everything. We'll do something, we'll do something that's, it's just going to kill you. We're going to do a barbed wire fucking coffin fucking inferno. You know what I mean?
I don't think she's got a booking with CZW, mate.
I'd watch, man.
I feel like Chantal's got more brain cells than to go try and get a booking there at the moment.
Yeah.
Hey, Chantal, look, I don't want to see you get fucked up by barbed wire, by fire, or anything like that. But, you know, I'm not going to lie. If you were booked in a match like that, I'd be definitely wanting to watch it. You know what I mean?
So, I mean, like you say, those dreams and those aspirations are good to have. And I wish you all the best in succeeding. And I personally believe that we will see you now everything's back to normal, making those big moves, and I'll put money on it that you definitely, I think we'll see you in WWE in the next 5 to 10 years at least, as you grow older and you get that you keep making a name for yourself. We've got a question from Shorty here. How does Chantal feel about becoming a big inspiration to younger, newer female wrestlers? The way she talks about those that inspire her.
Oh, that is a good question, you know. I think I think if people I don't even know if people look up to me or not, but if I was to know that people looked up to me and people are inspired by me, I think it'd just be it'd be surreal for me, because obviously, like I said, I'd never once think to myself the person I was before. I'd never think to myself oh yeah, people are looking up to me. I'd never think that, because it just you won't think that. So then when people do look up to you and look at you as an inspiration, it's just crazy. And it melts my little heart. Yeah. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Coach Wrestling have also said, what did you think of the match between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker on AEW?
Oh, that was amazing. I proper loved it. It was just great. I watched it about 3 times because it was just good. Yeah, it was just great.
There are those certain matches that you watch over and over again, because when you're watching it, you just can't believe that they get everything that perfect. Like the crowd work, the everything. just perfect.
Yeah.
And Will's put me onto loads, and they're all mostly old stuff. But yeah, you watch it over and over again, and there's always something that you didn't spot before, and you're like, oh shit, that was awesome.
Yeah, I know, definitely.
I mean, I haven't watched that match yet, but now he's mentioned that, I'm going to get after this. I'm going to go and look it up.
Yeah, do it.
I mean, both Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker are 2 women that are very good at their craft. I do always like to see Britt Baker. I think she's very, very good at she's very good on the microphone, for one. Yeah, promo work is very good. But she's very good, obviously, with her linking it to her actual profession and what she's done in real life. Her way in which she can relate to her character is very good as well, which I think helps. It comes to you as well, where you're the character that you sort of have created, the bad girl Chantal Jordan, obviously being based on the MMA and the mixed martial arts background, it's very close to you, and it's so much you. It's easier to relate to that kind of stuff when it's something you know so much about. Which is where Britt Baker comes in very well, because she is a doctor. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to be that person. She's a dentist, and she knows all that stuff. And she's very clever with her submissions that involve the jaw. I
mean, to be fair, on the YouTube, the love for Chantal Jordan, Shorty, you said you are an inspiration.
Oh.
And Cat Von Cage has said, it's funny, 2 years ago, she released a blog, and you told her you looked up to Cat. So she said people guaranteed that they will look up to you. As you are an inspiration, Chantal. Absolutely sure.
I still remember. I remember telling Cat White that she was an inspiration to me, and like, to be honest, like she still inspires me now. Like the things she does in the wrestling business, and the way like she presents herself on social media and everything, like there's so much like positivity, and like she just makes me like want to be a positive person. And anytime I'm around her as well, she just like, it's just so much positivity, and like I just love her, literally adore her.
No, I agree with that, and I do.
It's good to have you with us.
I agree with you on that one as well. I like how Kat deals with like a lot of things on social media, and how professional she stays very often, and you know the positivity that she does. And saying about that, Commentary Pro Wrestling have put here, Chantal has the ability to shape the UK wrestling scene for the next generation. She is that important to the UK scene right now. That's a statement there.
There you go.
It's just adorable. Yeah.
All true as well. Absolutely true.
I mean, none of us disagree with it. I mean, they say you've blown up the internet once. I'm pretty sure you'll do it again.
Yeah, there's
Many times around. Many times.
I can guarantee within at least the next couple of years, I'm going to, every time I turn Facebook on, I'm going to see Chantal and I'm like, I know her. I fucking know her. Yes.
We're friends. Yeah.
Wrestling friend. Yes.
just don't forget us, Chantal, when you're up there. Don't forget us.
I'll get used.
Oh dear.
Right, no, it's gone silent now.
that was an awkward sign. I thought Dal was just going to continue the conversation, but Dal just stopped. I was like, Dal's going to continue to. Dal's in the flow. He's going to continue talking.
It's just.
As YouTube has just said, he wouldn't be surprised if he saw you on live TV soon, and you know that's definitely it. Well, I have no question about it. People like you, Bashby, Morris, you know, I have no question. I'm going to see these people.
Carrie.
Carrie, 100%. I'm going to see these people on TV soon, and I'm going to be like, I know those motherfuckers. Yes.
And listen, when they walk out Monday Night Raw or on SmackDown, I'll say, I've worked with them. I've worked with them.
I'm hoping Chantal,
little Charlie as well. Another name.
I've had the pleasure of being in that ring with them.
Another name, a shout out there, little Charlie.
Absolutely. Charlie, no question.
Charlie, absolutely, of course, absolutely.
Emma Cross, if she wants it, then she could go that far as well. You know, like all these youngsters and all of these guys look up to you, Chantal. And you know, I mean, even people that are older than you look up to you. Like I said earlier, yeah, I do. You know, the matches I've seen you have been fucking incredible. And you know, you've just done so good in such a young age. I have no doubt that you're going to go far.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, welcome. No worries. So I mean, we're still here talking. We're not going anywhere anytime soon. But we need, we haven't really gone to it, and we probably should. Is obviously your time in Commentary Pro Wrestling up to date, and some of the stuff you've done in Commentary Pro Wrestling. So, what do you remember about making your debut in your first match in CPW?
I think was it against Victoria Adams?
I've got it was January 2019, and it was a triple threat match.
Oh yes, it was, wasn't it? It was me versus Victoria versus Natalie Ward, wasn't it?
Correct.
Yes. You know, I actually remember that match, to be fair. I think, like, when I got to CPW, I proper enjoyed it, you know, like, the crowd, like, its reaction as well. Like, I just love the crowd. Like, the crowd are just amazing at CPW. Like, they're just so up for everything. And, like, I think that was one thing that, like, stood out from my debut. was the crowd, and then just how nice everyone was backstage as well. That's what stood out to me.
I mean, you've we mentioned this on some. We've had this conversation with certain people that have obviously worked different promotions and been backstage in promotions. What's it like having? Obviously, I comment on this as well from time to time, knowing obviously from my experience. But what's it like for you, knowing when you're backstage at a locker room or in a locker room where you feel more comfortable and it is more fun backstage, or it's more enjoyable and stuff like that? How much of a difference does that feel you makes to a show, rather than being in a locker room where it's very politics or very like everyone keeps themselves to themselves and it's very like structured and people are whispering over there and whispering over here and stuff? What kind of difference does that make?
I think like it makes such a difference, like having like a nice environment to like wrestle at, show like backstage. It makes it so much better because you feel more relaxed. You don't feel like anyone's judging you. You don't feel like you have to be someone you're not to like stand out. It's just so nice. Like I can't be doing with like politics and like everything like just structured backstage. Oh yeah, you can't talk to this person, whatever. It's like it makes such a difference. It does indeed.
Yeah, well, we can't argue with that. I mean, a lot of people said when they come to our backstage, a lot of people we spoke to said that how relaxed it was and how everybody is so welcoming.
Yeah.
CPW.
I don't have much experience from other locker rooms. Only one or two, actually only another one. But so if I went somewhere else and it wasn't like that, I would find it very strange. And I can guarantee I wouldn't like it. I love, not everybody in CPW is somebody that is going to be my best friend because, I'm a very loud, Larry person,
I hate you.
My mom hates me. It's fine. Everyone's still respectful of each other. Everyone is, and there's something I experienced straight away as soon as I came into train with CPW. It's, everyone was just wanting to make you feel welcome. And that's always something that I know a lot, like, Nathan and Dale do as well. You want to make other people feel welcome as soon as they come in, whether they're experienced or not, you want to make them feel welcome. And, I can only hope that we actually do that.
Yeah.
So you made your debut here at CPW, and obviously you've had that experience. What was that like? Obviously, that match. How did you feel after that match coming into CPW and getting an opportunity to work? People that have been involved. Like Natalie is someone who's in the Hall of Fame. She's a big house name in CPW.
Yeah,
the Queen.
The Queen herself. What's it like going in, sharing a ring with someone like that who has that kind of reputation in a company like CPW?
I think like really good, to be fair, because I never would have expected my first match at CPW to be like having Natalie Ward in the ring. Obviously, like you said, Hall of Fame and CPW. Be given that opportunity, it does mean a lot. Again, I'm just grateful for every opportunity at CPW. I just love being
That's nice to hear.
I mean, so you must have made a hell of an impact in that match, because not long after that you went on to a match at the elimination show.
Yeah.
The match.
Yes.
How was that when you got told you're going to be in the CPW prison? For you, how was that, knowing that's what you're going to be doing next, be in that kind of environment?
It was crazy because obviously I'd never done any type of cage match before or whatever, and just that second show, and it's so you're going into prison. I'm like, really? Like, so nerve-wracking, but obviously I was excited at the same time.
How did you prepare for that match? And did you go to anyone for advice? Like, obviously, when he got mentioned, did you speak to anyone like Kamikaze, who'd previously been in cage matches, or is there anyone that you spoke to that obviously, like, did you get advice from, or maybe to get some tips from going into that kind of style of match?
I think, to be fair, I spoke to my instructor, James. Like, I mentioned, like, that I was going to be having a cage night match, and, like, what should I do? What should I expect? Whatever. And I think, like, I can't remember what he said to me, but that was who I went to. Yeah. And, like, yeah, I don't even know what he said. I just put it to him and speak to him about it.
It must have helped or worked, whatever it was, I guess.
It must have been a good advice at the time.
Coventry Pro Wrestling stayed here. First ever match in the CPW prison. History making.
It was. There you go.
Look at that. Making history once again.
I never knew that.
Making history, man. You know, the first ever prison match. I mean, I'll be honest. I always started trying to get a prison match for a long time. To be the first ever one in CPW, that's something special.
That's crazy.
I had this conversation the other day with someone about how, like, you know, there's certain people or certain things in CPW that people are going to have that claim to, which is the first ever this, the first ever that. And I think that goes, all that kind of stuff all has a really big meaning to it sometimes over certain things as well. Like knowing that you were the first ever this or the first ever that, like, it's just as important or just as big as saying, oh yeah, I remember when I had this title or this champion.
Yeah.
It has that same impact.
That isn't only the first ever women's match in the prison. That's the first ever prison match.
Yeah,
I mean,
it has so much weight behind it. Like when I think it has that weight behind it when it is you are the first ever of something or the first ever this. It has so much more carry to it, and it again, it's history making always.
It has more meaning to it.
So how did you find that match, and what was that match like for you afterwards?
I found it like, I think it was a good experience. But obviously I've never had that type of match before. Like, yeah, I proper enjoyed it. It was brutal though at the same time, like obviously cage matches, it's just you know you're gonna come out feeling bruised. Yeah, that's
it's not exactly soft, is it?
Not exactly like some fucking like bed like cushion or whatever, you know. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, that shit hurts, man. That shit hurts.
I mean, you see it. I mean, I've seen it. I think I've seen it at CW, but you'll see fans and they'll touch it. They're like,
yeah.
To be sure, they're like, oh, I'm not sure if this is this actually metal. Like,
That's some serious shit. Yeah.
I always like to see fans that do that with the ring as well. They go by the ring and they hit the ring. Like, oh, ow, it is. Oh. It isn't what I thought it was. You always see them slapping the ring or hitting the ring. You're just like, yeah.
Some people expect it to be like a bouncy castle or some shit, you know. And then when they hit it, they're like, no, you know, mate, this stuff hurts. You know what I mean? There's no question about it. This stuff hurts.
Like CP, Commentary Pro Wrestling have just said, one thing that's guaranteed after a prison match is bruising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one day I'll tell you the story about a fan and their experience with a wrestling ring when they thought it was a bouncy castle.
What, when he came in on the training session?
No. This is.
You remember that one?
I remember that one, but this was a woman who was basically making out as a bouncy castle. But I'll tell you the story one day. It's hilarious.
But do you remember that one where that pissed up guy came into training when we were at the Binley Club?
Yeah.
And I can't remember who it was, but someone slammed him and he nearly shit himself. It was
no, did he? He used to come he used to be there all the time, and he always used to somehow sneak in when we were training. and he'll just watch and stuff, and then he'll make.
I think it.
And then the more drunk he got, the more comments he made. And then one day, sort of just like get in the ring and try it.
He was giving it the big one. He was like, "Oh, this shit's fake." You know, that's all springed. And somebody slammed him. And I'm telling you now, yeah, the look in his eyes, he nearly shit himself.
He went from being drunk to sober in one body slam.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Back to Chantal, though, guys. We've gone off track here.
Sorry.
Back to Chantal. So you
So
just had
more of Chantal's CPW career, Dale. You're the man.
Elimination match.
Like I say, you've made one hell of an impact at CPW. You've already had a prison match, and now you have a submission match. And you March 30th of March, and you become CPW Women's Champion for the first time.
Woo!
So how was that for you, knowing you've just come from January to March, and from that, just from the short period of time, you have already been given that championship? How was that for you? How do you feel?
I just felt like obviously CPW like believed in me and like giving me like a title match like so early on in like my CPW career. It's just mental. Like you must have like obviously had some faith in me to like go out there and just bring it. It just felt good. Felt very good.
Do you remember that match, that submission match?
I do, yeah.
Any particular, like I said, the emotions of that occasion must have been amazing.
I think that the best moment in that match was me tapping her out.
Oh well, obviously. I mean, there's no better. There's got to be no better fucking feeling than that, you know.
Well, it was that a question though. I may be wrong on my knowledge here, and tell you I'm wrong. I don't know if I know. I think you've had titles at Kamikaze, but was that your first ever title ever in wrestling?
Was it? Oh, how was that?
I couldn't remember if you had the Kamikaze one before or after you'd won.
It was after.
How was that for you then? Because Nathan and me, we could both say like it was an amazing feeling for her. How was it for you? Your first ever title, man, and then from a company like that wasn't your home.
It was. I just felt so proud and so happy because, like, again, like, be given that opportunity and to come out as champion, my first ever title, it just meant the world to me. Like, it meant so much to me. Like, words can't like explain like, how happy I was in that moment.
How was it? How was it knowing that obviously the boss himself believed in you that much? You know, you'd only been in a short time in CPW, you've only done a handful of matches, if that, and all of a sudden he's like, I trust this person, I've got faith in this person, you're going in this match, you're coming out, you are going to be the champion, you're going to carry our title now going forward. What was that like, that feeling?
It was just, again, it just like, it meant the world to me because obviously when you're champion, you're like the face of their company, like you're holding their belt and like you're gonna need to like give it your all in every single like match, which you should anyway, but like it meant the world to me. And it's one of the great.
What was your mum like? Because I mean, my mum, when I won my first title, was, I mean, she didn't stop fucking telling people. I'm telling you now, honestly, it was like I had people I didn't even know coming up to me saying me they knew that. Yeah, that's because my mum said that. Was your mum like just as proud of you there?
Yeah, she was proper proud of me, and she's like telling everyone like, "Oh yeah, Shan's won her first title." She's like, yeah, she was proper proud of me.
And what was the response like when you obviously won that title back at, you know, your home promotion? What was their response, and how were they towards you?
They're all just like proper proud of me, and like they're all congratulating. It just felt nice to like have have a championship. Just it felt great. The response was amazing. Like, couldn't have asked for a better response.
And got a question here from Ash. How did you feel going into that championship match? How did you feel going into it and obviously prepare for a submission match of that sort?
I think, to be honest, like you just have to like put your head in the game and like hope for the best and just give it your all. And like that was my mindset at that moment. I wanted to go in there and prove to everyone that like I do deserve to be a champion, and I'm gonna fight for it.
Well, you did a great
Definitely
job. You did a great job, and you came out on top. And yeah, I mean, it was like I say, a great moment. Your first ever championship. Yeah, magnificent. Great stuff for you to be doing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you come out for the champion. You're now the face of the division. So again, how are you feeling? You know the division. You are now on top of that division. So how do you feel then?
I felt amazing, and I also felt like the other people, obviously, the other like lionesses, like other women, obviously they'll be coming for my title. So I felt like I kind of had to have my guard up at all times, and like because you don't know what can happen. And yeah, I felt amazing, and it was a privilege to hold the belt. Yeah.
No, I mean it is always an honor to be a champion and to have a championship. I take, and to be able to know you're the person at the top of that division and everyone's coming for you and everyone's looking up to you is an honor in its own right. How did you, obviously still being at such a young age, how did you deal with that extra pressure now, knowing that, every time I go out there, I'm defending this title, but also everyone's coming for me, so I need to keep my game up?
I feel like I dealt with it pretty well. Like in a kind of way, like I kind of showed like no fear.
Mm-hmm.
That's always the best way to be when like just in wrestling in general, just show no fear. Like show that you're coming in there to like kick ass, basically. Like people should fear you.
That's it. That's the one. Show no fear. They should fear you. Fair play. Yeah. That's the one.
No, take it all challenges.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely did that. You had a reasonably good title reign at that point, but I mean, unfortunately, that title reign did come to an end at the Road to History of that year.
Yeah.
So again, so what do you remember about that match? What do you remember about going into that match?
I just remember like obviously feeling excited again to defend my title, and at the same time feeling nervous because you never know, like I could lose the belt. But yeah, I did lose the belt, but just like going in there and like when I lost the title, it was just like obviously I felt like proud of like the person like obviously who won the title. Like they've obviously got the title now, so they're like the face like of the company now. And like but at the same time I did kind of like I did feel a little bit sad, like but I came back for the title.
But on the other side, it made you even more determined to win that championship back.
Definitely, I wanted it like even more. Then I was determined. I was hungry for it.
Well, I mean, everyone knows, if you're not in wrestling to be, the top of your game, if you're not in the wrestling to be at the top of whatever division you're in, then why the hell are you in there? You know what I mean? So you have been at the top of the game. You have been there, so you must be completely hungry to get back to that.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, like I said, we went on, and we all know what happens in 2020. Not a lot at some point after January when we all went into lockdown. But we did, CPW managed when we were allowed to get back to doing shows. Now, there's something that you did in 2020 that I want to speak about that we can't but not speak about. It's the best of 5 series.
Oh, yeah.
What were them matches for you? To know you're going to be in these matches, how did it feel getting into these matches? What kind of preparation did you put in to be in these matches?
I was training hard at home, and I was just preparing myself for this best 5. I was determined to win it. I wanted to win it more than ever. Prove to the whole of CPW. Yeah, I'm making a statement, and I am coming back for that title. And by winning that, yeah.
So obviously these best of 5 series matches had all different stipulations on them, and each match brought something different. I mean, one of them took place outside at the Skipyard show, if I'm right.
No, you didn't.
No,
No,
I did.
Not right, Nate.
Well, I'm going back to being quiet. See you later. I'm out of here. I have definitely got that wrong.
So, but anyway, Chantal, like Nathan says, there was a lot of different stipulations in all the different matches. So, are there any particular matches out of there that stands out for you that was the best match out of the 5?
Probably the 2 out of 3 falls match.
Yeah?
Yeah, probably that, because I felt like I had so much adrenaline, and the intensity of that match was it was great. The intensity was it just made it just made it even better. I think that was definitely the match that stood out to me out of that best of 5 series.
I remember that match because I believe I was commentating on that match.
Yeah.
And I was going absolutely wild.
I know I could literally hear you as I was rested. I was these commentators are going wild.
I was going off the chain. I was just like, what have I just seen? This is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I can't, the emotions, I can still remember them today. The emotions were magnificent. To see that, for how it started, was just unbelievable. Yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff. But
so for anyone who didn't see the best of 5 series, and if you didn't, where the hell have you been? Make sure you do see it. What was the end result of this best of 5 series?
Well, I was just about to get onto that, Lee, mate. But
Sorry, Dale.
But I appreciate you asking that. But so History 7, it was I Quit, the I Quit match. Loser leaves CPW, and the winner becomes CPW Women's Champion. So again, how are the emotions for you going into that? So many different stipulations in one match.
The emotions were literally running so high, because I knew that if I lost this match, I lost my opportunity, obviously, to win the belt, and also I was just gone from CPW. I didn't want that, so I just give it my all, and I was determined not to quit. I wanted to keep going. Yeah, and the emotions were just so high. It was a very emotional match.
It must have been great. I mean, and to come out of that match with a win and come out with a match with the championship. So again, what were you feeling? How were you feeling at that point?
I was feeling I was so happy, to know that I didn't quit, and I also won the title in one match. It just brings a load of joy. It's just memorable. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, I mean, that's like I say, it was an amazing moment, an amazing match for you to be involved in.
Yeah.
Yes. So
you obviously the best of 5 series obviously was an epic 5 matches, and obviously that 2 out of 3 falls match at the end to finish it off. How did you feel after the whole thing had come to an end, and you'd gone through this best of 5 series and everything like that, and actually gone and done something that, you know, not very often happens in wrestling?
I felt great. Like that's how I can like submit to the rest. I just felt great. I felt on top of the world. I just wanted to keep smashing it and keep doing what other people or what most people can't do.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the end of the day, you certainly did that. You came out, you did everything you could in the best of 5 series. I mean, you came from being 2-0 up to having the lead taken away from you to get into 2-2. And that's even more emotions. You've gone from being in the lead to getting that lead taken away from you. And then you go into that last match. I mean, yeah, the emotion must have been absolutely unbelievable.
It was incredible.
Absolutely.
And then,
go on, Nate, mate.
And obviously, then you're, you know, the champion for a second time in CPW, 2-time champion. And again, now at a position where, you know, everyone's coming for you and everyone's gunning for you. And obviously, you know, you're back in that position that you was in only a few months earlier when you were the champion previously. How was the second time round being champion, though, knowing you'd already been there before?
I think it was like a little bit in a way, like it was kind of a little bit easier, but at the same time, I think it was harder because obviously the CPW women's division at the minute, it's like growing so much, and the talent is like from when I was champ before to like when I was champ again, it was just so much bigger, and there was a wider range of like talented individuals. I knew that like I need to do whatever I can to like keep on this belt because one of them's going to take it. Defo.
I mean, but like what you said, the roster, like you said, was absolutely huge. It's talented individuals, talented women, and you said that one of them was going to take it from you, and that is what happened.
Yep.
In January of this year, our own Shorty, you got into that match with her, and as a result of an interference by Alfie Rogue, you lost your championship. So again, how's the emotions going into that match with Shorty and then the result afterwards?
Going into that match with Shorty, I was nervous because I knew that she was probably the one that could possibly take it away from me. But at the same time, I was like, I'm determined to keep hold of like this title, so I'm just gonna like go out there and just give my all. And like obviously, like I said before, obviously I praised her and all that. Like I think she's amazing. A part of me felt gutted when Alfie Road like come and attack me because like I felt like I kind of like I technically don't think I fully lost that match. Like, if there wasn't the interference, maybe it could have been a different result.
I mean, I personally think you were on to win that match. I think if Alfie hadn't have interfered, nothing against Shorty at all. But at that time, I think, you know, your experience would have carried over on that match. I think the momentum is in your favour at the time to obviously get the victory, and like I say, until Alfie decided to put her nose where it doesn't matter and get involved and cost you that title, really.
Yeah, I mean,
but would you say, sorry, Chantal, that what do you want more? Like after that, do you want more revenge on Alfie for costing you that title, or do you want a shot at that title more? What burns in you deeper?
I think that title.
That means more to you.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Great answer. Title always means more.
Great, that's a great answer.
You can get payback and revenge whenever, but what even better payback and revenge, getting that title back and saying, you might have cost me it, but look who's champion again and you're not.
That's a fair point.
But I mean, you did manage to get, you say, a slight bit of revenge on Alfie.
Yep.
When you stepped in the ring with her in the 2 out of 3 falls at the Night of the Lioness. So again, that match, that was clearly just simply revenge on the cards for you. So how was that for you to get in there and say, right, I'm going to put it to you, Alfie, and I'm getting this victory?
It felt good to step in the ring with her for like the first time and actually be able to get revenge from Jack, because like it was constantly like, playing in the back of my mind, like I'm gonna keep training hard. I want to do come back. I'm coming back for Alfie Road, like I'm determined to like beat her, and that's what I did. And I think I've kind of like sort of got my revenge back, and now I'm just coming for that CPW championship, or even if I beat Mia Cortez tomorrow and I face Harley Harris, a history, I'm determined to win that title.
I mean, that's the plan, I guess. They say you got to go in there and get the job done tomorrow night, beat Mia Cortez, and have opportunities again at a gold in CBW. We just mentioned Night of the Lioness there, Night of the Lioness 2 there, and the match you had. Talking about Night of the Lioness, how much does that do? How much does that mean to you as a women's wrestler, having a show where it is mainly dedicated to the women's division and women's wrestling?
It's so good because like obviously there aren't many women's shows out there that are mainly focused like dedicated to women. I know like most of them are like in America, but like to have them shows now and like other ones appearing of that type, it's like it feels good because it feels like women are finally like getting their opportunity to like shine and stand out. And I think what better way to do it than on an all women's show?
No, I couldn't agree more there. Like I say, the women's division right now is absolutely amazing in CPW, and having that platform to showcase it off always and to showcase what the women in CPW can do is always a privilege. And I think it goes to show with the amount of women that are on the shows week in, week out, you know, there's multiple women's matches. We've got multiple women's titles now because the women's division is so big and so strong here in CPW. And one thing in that women's division is the CPW Lineal Women's Championship, which you have an opportunity to become #1 contender tomorrow night at Road to History when you're facing Mia Cortez. Are you? Would you say, you know, talking about all your wrestling tonight and everything that we've been discussing tonight, is that giving you more fuel ready for tomorrow to say, you know what, more fuel than you already had to say, I'm going in there tomorrow to win because I want another gold here at CPW?
Yeah, it's made me even more determined to get that gold because like talking about it all just made me more motivated, and I'm going in there tomorrow looking for a fight, looking to win. So she's got to bring her A game because I'm bringing mine.
And you know, before we wrap it all up and finish this show tonight, we always ask our guests, what's your final message for the CPW Galaxy, and also your final message for tomorrow night, for Mia Cortez tomorrow night?
My final message is I am coming for that lineal title, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get me to that belt. And if it means that I have to destroy Mia Cortez, then that's what I'm going to do. Nobody's going to get in my way because I'm going to prove to the whole of the CPW Galaxy that I am better than ever.
And where can the fans of the CPW and the people watching tonight, where can they find find you on social media and look at some of your matches that you've done, maybe outside of CPW and everything like that. So where can our fans find you on social media?
I have a YouTube channel which is called Chantal Jordan / professional wrestler. That's got a couple of my matches on different places and also got like highlight videos. And then you can check me out on Twitter at Chantal Jordan _. Same on Instagram, Chantal Jordan _, and then Facebook, Chantal Jordan / professional wrestler.
Make sure you check that shit out, guys.
Make sure you do.
Yes.
Like, follow, subscribe. Chantal Jordan, it has been an honor to speak to you tonight. It's been a privilege to have you on as a guest. We thank you for joining us. We wish you all the best of luck tomorrow night at Road to History against Mia Cortez. And fingers crossed you get the W and you become that #1 contender. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another Talking Madness episode here on Friday night, the night before Road to History. Remember, after this match, stay behind because we have got Bashby versus Taco from New Blood Wrestling episode 18. Also, tickets still available for tomorrow night's Road to History, and tickets are available for July the 10th, History 8. You do not want to miss the matches. You do not want to miss these shows because they are going to be epic, and that is a guaranteed fact. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Talking Madness. We've been joined tonight by our guest, Chantal Jordan. Chantal Jordan, thank you for joining us tonight. And my co-host, as always, Lee Simmons, say goodbye.
Love you guys. Thank you for watching, as always.
Dal Richardson, say goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye, CPW Galaxy. We'll see you all tomorrow. And thank you very much, Chantal. Been a great guest.
Chantal Jordan, say goodbye.
See you later, guys. I'll see you all tomorrow.
And I will say goodbye. Enjoy the free match, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Road to History at Stoke Kids Community Centre.
Let's do it.
First, here's one half of the CPW Tag Team Champions representing TCCC Taco! One day we're all going to get you jumping up and down into this. Look at this. Taco, come on! Here they are. Rock out, on you go.
There's some organizations in the dance club you want to go preparing.
I'm sorry we've got to have to screw this up every week.
I think it's going to be you this week.
Oh, yeah. Damn it. And introducing his opponent, Bashby!
Bashby drip on the way to the ring. She says, chicks and kids. Seen the kids, but I've seen the chicks though.
That's what you used to be doing. The King of Kings.
Lucky last week, this week.
But again,
Very focused in bet because, like you say, he's out for a bit of revenge, certainly retribution.
that's it. That's the redemption of Bashby.
I want to make it clear, he didn't come mad for it. He asked for this rematch. He was very respectful in his request. Obviously, it was granted.
Well, you know, 10 months out, coming back and losing is not the way you want to start your return in CW. So this is a chance for him to redeem himself and get that winning streak underway.
Absolutely, and there's nothing wrong with having a bit of pride. having a bit of pride in being a competitor in the ring. This is about winning and losing. They haven't seen and do that. Strong. Tie up there. Very nice. Nicely done into a hammer. By Bashby. And a reversal. With his own hammer. Bashby looking for a leg maybe. Can't find it.
A very good handwork here from the tag team champions, Taco.
Very quick switch there. Floating over into that headlock by Bashby. Taco needs to watch those shoulders. The cameras, they're always right there watching them. They're down. Taco just lifting the right shoulder up. Trying to use that forearm to force Bashby down into a head scissors. He succeeds. Leg strap coming into this right here to try and keep your man into it. Head scissors, very nice kip up there by Bashby to escape the head scissors.
A kick from Taco there, Bashby running in.
Yeah, maybe a little overzealous there by Bashby. Maybe a little bit too eager to prove a point, maybe, Nathan.
I want to try and get the job over again, but it's going to take a lot to get over on the tag team champion. Big tackle from Taco.
Big drop. Drop down into the body flip. Right over Taco. Drop down by Bashby, maybe looking for a back drop, but it's reversed by Taco. Few forearms there to work the young Bashby.
Very fast from here. Springboard crossbow!
That's very nicely done. Only gets a 2 count on Bashby. What an exchange of moves there, reactions.
That there was very similar to what they did in Spain, but I think Bashby was ready and thinking it was going to be the same thing, but out of nowhere, Taco bringing out that springboard, crossbody, taking Bashby by surprise there, nearly getting the win.
See the respect here Taco is showing. Bashby does not want to run in, make the same mistake Bashby made earlier. Obviously, Bashby got caught there, but he's not down. Both men able to get back to their feet. Taco being very cautious here. Schoolboys, big count.
Big drop kick from Bashby.
No messing about, no wrestling, no tie-ups. Bashby's going in. Slightly more aggressive now from Bashby. More desperate to get the upper hand.
Frustration from Bashby by looks of it as well.
I don't blame him, I mean, he got caught big time with that springboard cross body. Taco got the better of him in that exchange.
Knee from Bashby taking out, like I said before, many people. And you can get it off the bell.
Tell you what, he hits that knee perfectly, pinpointing the chin every single time. It's one of those moves that he has just perfected. He can take anybody out. You know that.
Oh yeah, he knows how to use his speed and his attitude to his advantage. And like I said, that knee, you see it take people's teeth off.
Yeah, absolutely. Being a little bit more calculated now is Bashby. Just taking his time. Doesn't want to toy with Taco here. One thing to be calculated and careful with your actions in the ring. You've got not to waste time. There is a difference, Nathan.
Again, like you say though, you don't want to give Taco the time to recover from again. He is a heavyweight champion, but also you give him time to get that momentum back. His speed is going to be the difference maker once again. And a kick there from Taco. Drop kick into the corner. Taco up, down. We see his seems to struggle to get the pin in there from Taco.
Bashby can't even make it to his feet. He doesn't know where he is. The Taco is right behind him.
And the head scissors.
We know lesson from last week, it's safe to say.
Very well scouted there by Bashby. Big clothesline, big clothesline.
Well, remember, that was the beginning of the end last week when Taco hit that CB2 moonsault and it was done. So Bashby, learning from last week, it doesn't take this kid long to catch up with in-ring action, does it?
Bashby saying something about the nose there. I think he's hurt his nose.
I think he's on that bulldog. I mean, that bulldog, especially that much momentum. He's driving the nose into the canvas. It's one of the most painful moves you can have done to you in the ring. You get hit on the nose like that, your eyes water, you don't know where you are.
Can't breathe properly.
No.
Bashby with a big punch kick though to the ribs of Taco. But it seems like Bashby's really strong after that wheelbarrow bulldog.
In my opinion, he needs to shake that off a lot quicker and try and get Taco finished here. He's got the upper hand. Telegraph the CB2, you have to believe you should be going in for the kill right about now.
I've got a new one for you, Taco.
The thing is, I don't think I've ever seen Taco give up in the ring. Whoa! Bloodbuster there, shades of the great Arn Anderson.
Big kicks, high flying speed, but that was some power play.
It's obvious to me he's trying something new. It's getting a little frustrated. What is he arguing? That was a clip. 2 count. And sign up in the ropes once again.
TV2 represent!
Could this be it? Is Taco going to follow this up with a moonsault like we saw last week?
For Bashby, they're getting frustrated with Dale there. It seems to have cost him his opportunity to
Could be it. Oh, it depends if Taco's going to hit this moonsault. Both men are slow. To capitalise on these openings for Taco. They've certainly got a chance to finish it here. CB2 is finally up on the top rope. Is he going to hit it? Bashby moves. Once again, that's something he got hit with last week. And telegraphed it, moving out of the way.
Still from that.
This is a much more hard-hitting match than last week, Nathan. Last week was all about streaming chicken. This is 2 men just slugging it out here.
Say good
The
night,
match I thought I was going to see.
Say good night, that has just hit him fresh on the head. That's a good night.
Knockout blow for sure. Taco has not moved. Bashby really needs to get Pillars, drag him to the middle.
I'm not sure what Bashby's going for.
I thought he's putting him into the middle to cover him, but it looks like Bashby's going
Normally he hits
to the outside.
from the right. He used to hit a swanton from the top row when he. If he's what he's going for.
That's all we're going to see. The swanton off the top. Oh, he hits it perfectly.
Last week was a fluke. He got lucky last week. This time, this is my match.
He's just hit the
I'm
swanton.
winning this. He's done.
Moved out of the way. The moonsault. We hit that big.
And this is what happens when he's taking time out to get things like
This is disrespectful to Taco, I have to say. Taco just caught Bashby out with a crucifix pin.
And that's what you get.
Absolutely, that's what you get.
Here is your winner by pinfall, Taco! Well, we say this. There was such a big ring. That's what I said. You should hear the squad pod.
mean, that was disrespectful. He's going to take his champion. He needed to hit him. If he hit Taco straight after that, who knows? I'm not saying that would have been a definite recount because Taco is one hell of a competitor. See, come on. He's frustrated. He's very frustrated. Himself there, Will. Come on. Very angry himself. Not getting pulled quicker. This was there you go. He has to be lost with great competitor. Super. Yeah, get out there. Flashby he just tore Taco's head off.
What's just happened there with a super kick?
Frustration boiling over clearly. Bashby just staring at the damage. He's just looked to Taco. Taco is out. I mean, he's out.
That is disgusting there. They were just having a good old taco party.
He looks his back to it, sweating, and let's call it like it is.
He lost it with his own yes. He's not played taco one bit for him that match. That was disgusting there.
I mean,
And now
let's talk about.
Now we've got Miguel and Raphael helping to try and get Taco out of the ring because he is out cold from that super kick.
They've got to get him to the back as soon as possible. I mean, that's the thing about that super kick. He hits that, it could be over.
Vincent Sangria.
You need a lot more than that.
Well, it's no Taco time, it's night time.
Shocking action there from Bashby. I mean, like you said, he's got no one to blame for himself for that loss there, but obviously taking